Okay, so Yoon Hae-ok is heading out on a long trip, and this mysterious figure in the hat is telling him to get some sleep. The figure adds that other passengers will be joining him, and our boy is instantly side-eyeing the situation. He agrees it's fine, trying to play it cool, but we all know something is off with this setup. A woman with long white hair, is clearly wondering who these other passengers could be, and honestly, same. We get a glimpse of whoever she's with, and their shadow is intense to say the least. Flashback time, we see Yoon Hae-ok dying in his 15th round, and he's blaming it on bad luck. Then again in his 19th round, he's facing another brutal end, but this dude is seriously optimistic. He's covered in blood but somehow thinks he'll make it next time. The delusion is real. Cut back to the present and we see someone looking at their phone, seemingly unbothered. This guy is checking his phone, probably trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this trip. Yoon Hae-ok realizes he needs info on the Gourmand Association and starts searching on his phone. He recalls a line from the novel, something about his interference, and it's clearly bugging him. He remembers another line referencing the third round of the edited version, and it's even more unsettling. He pauses, reading more of the novel, and it's about doing what's right, but what is the right path? He's seriously focused on his phone, scrolling through the text, and it looks intense. Someone asks if they can let the other passengers in, and Yoon Hae-ok gives the okay, trying to stay calm. The figure in the hat agrees, and Yoon Hae-ok asks who these mysterious passengers even are. The figure simply says to go ahead, and honestly, that's super sus. We get a glimpse of the passengers, and their shadows are ominous to say the least. Our boy is totally reading up on the Gourmand Association, trying to figure out what's going on. Someone finally confronts Dokja, demanding to know what took him so long, and honestly, rude. Selena appears and this dude straight up asks if she remembers him, which is awkward. Selena recognizes him, asking if he remembers her, and the tension is real. She asks if he remembers her, and the look on her face is kinda intense, NGO. A third person, a Russian kid, shows up, claiming they met at a banquet, and things are getting crowded. Dokja says he doesn't know how he's here, but he was invited too, suspicious. Selena gets super close to Dokja, and he's clearly freaked out, but she's just talking. The Russian kid explains he met Selena at the Constellation banquet. What even is that? Dokja thinks there's one more person, and bro, he's totally right to be on edge. Dokja and the Russian kid look at each other, and something's definitely brewing between them. Selena drops a bomb. She's one of the strongest beings in TWSA, on par with the Supreme King. She reveals she's the prophet of Asgard and the head of Zarathustra. No big deal. Dokja says he saw her in a dream, but admits he barely remembers it. Smooth save our boy. Selena presses him, saying they agreed to meet again, and the tension is building fast. Suddenly, another figure steps forward, revealing himself as the Demon King of Salvation. No way. Dokja's face is priceless. He's clearly shocked to see this dude, and honestly, same. The Demon King stares Dokja down, and it's super intense. This dude is radiating power. Selena and the Russian kid exchange glances, like they knew this was coming, which is sus. Dokja's thinking hard. He remembers the Demon King being a key player, but the details are hazy. Dokja clutches his hand, bracing himself because something big is about to go down. You can feel it. Dokja learns the incarnations of Asgard were invited to talk about a power-packed guest list. Selena's all smiles, but something feels off about her, like she's hiding a ton. The Russian kid looks seriously disturbed, and Dokja is starting to connect the dots. Dokja's internal monologue reveals he's remembering a key detail. Selena's betrayal count is high. Selena's definitely reading Dokja, and her expression is just unsettling. Dokja suddenly flexes his hand, bracing for a confrontation because this situation is about to explode. Selena straight up asks if Dokja likes and will follow her, and the pressure is on. The Demon King is smirking, and it's a creepy, I know something you don't kind of grin. Dokja's thinking hard. The Demon King was a huge player in the story, but the specifics are fuzzy. Selena's expression changes, and she's clearly expecting Dokja to make a choice, but what will it be? Selena's praising Dokja for choosing the Great Nebula, saying it got them this exclusive experience, and apparently other incarnations weren't invited. Someone asks if Dokja's tongue got caught, then drops a bomb. They thought he wanted to see Dokja again, not Selena. Dokja visibly flinches, and Selena's companion straight up calls him out. demanding to know when he ever expressed interest in Dokja. This woman is relentless, saying Dokja's been bringing up Dokja's name since the last banquet and needs to say something now that they finally met. Dokja blurts out, "Dang it," he has no idea what she's even talking about and is clearly caught off guard. She doubles down, claiming he's been obsessed with Dokja, and honestly, this is a full-blown interrogation. Dokja is reeling and Selena's just standing there watching the chaos unfold. She's definitely enjoying this. Okay, so we're at Oro Castle, one of the association's bases scattered across dimensions. It's a big deal. This place is owned by an executive member, and our boy is scoping it out, figuring out who's running the show. He remembers the owner is one of the 72 Demon Kings, specifically someone called Immeasurable Austerity. Heavy title, right? Suddenly, a door crashes open with a boom and the castle feels off, like seriously ominous. Inside, the decor is insane, all red and gold, super fancy, but also kinda creepy and over the top. He's checking out the interior, noticing all the details, and it's just making the whole vibe even weirder. More people start arriving, and it's clear they are all waiting for someone or something to show up. Then this dude announces that there are still a few more who haven't arrived yet. Talk about tension. But wait, the main guy straight up tells Demon King of Salvation he's getting a separate waiting room because he's a constellation. And honestly, that feels like a seriously bad move, isolating someone that powerful. Something's definitely brewing. Okay, so the Demon King of Salvation is getting major apologies. Everyone's suddenly super formal. She's acting way different now, but someone points out she didn't apologize on her own accord. She straight up apologizes to the Demon King, which is a huge deal considering who he is. Someone's thinking out loud she's a genuinely nice person, just like the story said, TWSA. But our boy, he's got a very different read on the situation, and it's kinda unsettling. Blonde woman with some seriously cool eyewear arrives and asks for the carnations of Esgard. She's leading someone away, and it's one of the shadowy figures we've seen lurking around. Everyone's getting ushered around, and it's clear this place is way more complex than it seems. The blonde woman is being super polite, but something feels off, like a trap is being set. And now they're all looking at our boy again. This is getting intense. What's going to happen? Okay, so the blonde woman is laying it on thick. She tells the Demon King he's made too many enemies. Our boy is totally lost, admitting he has no clue what her goal is and how to even react. She's all, "This world isn't worth protecting," and is flashing images of past tragedies. It's intense. The Demon King is looking all regal and brooding, but honestly, he seems genuinely affected by what she's saying. He's questioning if this world deserves to be saved, but our boy doesn't buy it for a second. The Demon King is dropping hints about past betrayals and someone being killed. Major foreshadowing here. He's clearly upset and a tear actually falls, but something about it feels off, like a performance. Our boy is catching on to the act and he's not impressed. This dude is seeing right through it. The blonde woman is still talking and the Demon King is just silent. It's a super awkward power play. But wait, the Demon King finally speaks. He's not falling for her manipulations and he's calling her out. Our boy is straight up asking about the Gourmet Association, trying to piece things together. He's playing detective. Suddenly, everything goes sideways. A massive burst of energy erupts, and he's caught totally off guard. He's reeling, a tear escaping his eye, and it's clear whatever just happened hurt. But wait, it's not just any energy, it's Yook, and he's looking different, to say the least. Yook's got a new look, dark hair, intense eyes, and he's giving off major villain vibes. He's strolling in, all confident and casually acknowledging our boy. This is getting creepy fast. Yook drops a bomb. He's been waiting a long time to meet Dokja, no way. Our boy is speechless, completely stunned by the reveal. This dude is processing a LOT right now. However, it's clear Yook isn't just popping in for a friendly chat. There's a serious tension building. This whole situation is escalating quickly, and our boy is caught right in the middle of it. Yook's laying it on thick. He's saying he's the type our boy likes, and honestly, it's a power move. Our boy is straight up denying it, saying it's a misunderstanding, but Yook isn't backing down for a second. Then Yook just yells Uriel's name. What is happening right now? This is wild. He asks if this is more to our boy's taste, and the scene shifts to show a woman in a black dress. It's a setup. The woman is suddenly surrounded by golden energy, and things are starting to crack and break around her. She's posing, radiating confidence while the room literally falls apart. This is getting intense. Our boy is shocked, asking what's going on, and the black smoke reveals it all. Yoongyueok has been watching him. It seems our boy couldn't take his eyes off the woman, and Yoongyueok is reveling in the drama. She's telling him to stop, but Yoongyueok is just laughing, calling our boy fun. This dude is a menace. Our boy is visibly upset, looking totally defeated, and Yoongyueok is just enjoying it. No way. Yoongyueok is laying on the charm, acting all innocent while basically trapping our boy with his power. He's claiming our boy likes strong women, and suddenly this mysterious woman is glowing with golden energy. The room is falling apart around them, but she's just posing like it's a photo shoot, so extra. Our boy is totally confused, asking what Yoongyueok is doing, but it's revealed this whole thing was planned. Yoongyueok admits he's been watching our boy, and it's all because he noticed his gaze lingering on the woman. She's trying to tell him to stop, but Yoongyueok is just cackling. This dude is a straight-up villain. Our boy looks completely defeated, and Yoongyueok is reveling in the chaos. It's honestly sickening. She's telling him she's not a noble woman, but Yoongyueok is already twisting her words. What a manipulator. Our boy is clearly uncomfortable, saying he doesn't belong here, but Yoongyueok is ignoring him completely. Okay, so this crew is deep in a cave, and one of them asks if they're collecting abyss stones because they're gonna need a LOT. Turns out they need those stones as backup if things go south. They're the only way out, apparently. But someone is questioning whether Dokja actually ordered this whole stone collecting mission, and honestly, she sounds suspicious. This other dude straight up calls Dokja a scam artist, which is a bold move, but someone's gotta say it. Dokja is not happy about being called a scam artist, and he's firing back, but this blonde lady isn't backing down. She's yelling about killing him, but another person thinks even the threat sounds weak and third-rate, which is savage. They're looking at some kind of story rating system, and it's all 5 stars, except one review. This old man is declaring this story his favorite, and it's kinda creepy, not gonna lie. Someone mentions Saiyong and Senga, which is a total cliffhanger and makes everyone super tense. In the final shot, intense close-up, this dude is clearly realizing something huge is about to go down. The old man is asking if Dokja is the exhibitor for this story, and honestly, it's a loaded question. He says he can't explain why it's so fun, which is concerning to say the least. But then the old man drops a bomb. He understands how Dokja feels, and that's wild. They're staring at each other, and it's a super intense moment, like they're sharing a secret. Our boy Dokja is laughing, and this other guy with the green cloak is laughing too, but it feels off. And then there's a full-on celebration happening. Everyone's laughing, but it's seriously creepy. They're all looking at something off-panel, and whatever it is, it's making them lose it. This dude is just grinning, and it's a straight-up villainous grin, no doubt. The old man and the other dude are totally in on it, and it's giving major bad vibes. However, Dokja seems to be the only one not completely losing it, and he's definitely planning something. Okay, so this creepy hooded guy is straight up gloating about the story getting terrible reviews. Talk about savage. The old man is shocked, saying the story isn't that bad, which is wild because it kinda is. But then he goes deeper. He thinks even cheap entertainment can save lives, which is a whole mood. He's saying this story might actually impact people, and our boy Dokja is listening intently. The old man continues, saying Dokja isn't like the other young constellations and praising his values. Dokja just says thank you, but he's clearly analyzing everything, trying to figure out what's really going on. And then bam, the old man suddenly asks about Dokja's modifier. What even is that? Dokja admits he was so caught up in the moment he forgot to ask, which is a huge red flag, honestly. The old man smirks like he already knew Dokja would be different, and it's unsettling. This whole conversation is giving me the creeps. They're playing a long game, and Dokja is right in the middle of it. The old man is straight up revealing his reward for killing Ilseng, the infinite dimension space coat. Dokja's shocked but keeps his cool, asking about the modifier, and the old man grins like he's won. The old man explains the coat lets him store anything in another dimension, but it's way more than just storage. He's saying the code is connected to the story itself, a tool to manipulate things, no way. Dokja realizes this dude isn't just some powerful figure, he's a key player in the whole scenario. But the old man throws a curveball. He says Dokja is different from other constellations and admires him. Dokja is clearly suspicious, though, and starts questioning the old man's motives. Good for him. The old man reveals he's been observing Dokja since the beginning, and it's seriously creepy. He claims he knew Dokja would be the one to reach this point, and that's a huge red flag, honestly. Dokja's determined to find out what the old man wants, and this conversation is about to get intense. The old man drops a bombshell. He's mass producer, one of the most influential constellations in Star Stream. He explains that while he isn't super powerful himself, he's connected to everyone and everything. Now that he thinks about it, he remembers Dokja killed his incarnation, Il-sing Myeon, during the 5th scenario. But it wasn't him who actually did the deed, it was Young-hyuk, which is a detail Dokja definitely doesn't miss. We get a flashback of Young-hyuk impaling a woman with a sword, and it's brutal. Dokja is clearly reeling from this reveal, and honestly, he has every right to be. Mass producer admits he's been watching Dokja since the beginning, claiming he knew Dokja would reach this point. He says he admires Dokja's ability to break the script, but Dokja is super wary of this praise. Dokja presses him for what he actually wants, and the old man just smirks. This dude is playing games. Mass producer explains he's been observing for a long time, and Dokja is the first one to make him curious. Mass producer straight up admits he enjoyed Dokja's story, saying he has a knack for chaos. This dude is definitely toying with him. We get a flash of a grand hall, seemingly the scenario Dokja created. Mass producer was watching the whole thing unfold. Mass producer praises Dokja's unpredictable moves and then casually drops a 5-star review. No way. Dokja is seriously questioning if this is a compliment or just a massive troll. Can't blame him, honestly. Mass producer announces they're in a new place and asks who brought Dokja here. It's a total power move. The answer, the queen of the underworld. Talk about a dramatic entrance. Our boy is in deep. Mass producer's rocking sunglasses now, and his grin is unsettling. This is getting weirder by the second. Someone calls the queen an old hag, and mass producer is loving it. He clearly anticipated this showdown. Okay, so Anna Croft is straight up owning this banquet, looking like a total boss in that outfit. She's introduced as an incarnation from the Asgard Nebula. Talk about a powerful entrance, right? Meanwhile, someone in the crowd, this dude, is clearly not impressed, judging Anna with a serious side-eye. He's thinking Anna only came to the Gourmand Association for a specific reason, and honestly, he's not wrong. He mutters about how he could never like her, which is a bold statement considering the power she's flexing. Anna begins her speech announcing she's here for the Gourmand Association and makes a big reveal. They're having a banquet. But this isn't just any banquet, it's for constellations who choose the most delectable stories to consume. And the main ingredient, fresh incarnations. No way, this is getting dark fast. Someone else overhears and realizes Starstream is about to become a story for these constellations. Our boy finally understands why Anna showed up, and it's not good news for anyone involved, bro. Anna announces she's hosting the first event, even admitting she feels unqualified. Total power move. Someone asks what prey could offer these constellations, and someone else immediately shouts for Anna to be dragged off stage. Rude. But before they can touch her, another woman, Euphrosyne, jumps up, all smiles and new kisses like this is a performance. Euphrosyne says if that's what Anna wants, it's okay, and suddenly everyone's losing it. It's chaotic. This dude is straight up thrilled by the madness, while someone else looks like he's about to faint, panting like crazy. Euphrosyne smirks, and honestly, it's a terrifying expression, like she's enjoying the chaos way too much. She starts listing off the types of stories these constellations love: returnees, reincarnators, sword masters, archmages. It's a long list. But she doesn't stop there, claiming all those stories are just boring, and that Starstream is flooded with them. However, she says things were different in the past, and asks if anyone remembers how it used to be, hinting at something huge. This dude is deep in thought, realizing Anna came here to change the status quo, and this banquet is about to get wild. This dude starts laying it all out. He's bringing back a story from the first generation, a forgotten classic. The constellations are immediately intrigued, demanding to know if this story will satisfy their appetites. Creepy. He confidently says it will, describing it as a tale built on blood, sweat, tears, and pure effort. No shortcuts. He's presenting this story to them now, standing on a balcony overlooking a packed hall, totally owning the moment. But someone in the crowd is already scoffing, claiming the Gourmand Association wouldn't be interested in something like this. However, this blonde guy is smirking like he knew exactly what he was doing all along, and honestly, it's unsettling. He's giving a serious look, eyes narrowed. This isn't just a performance, it's a statement. He's totally locked in, focused on delivering this story, and it's clear he's got a plan. Someone's panicking, whispering that this is a disaster waiting to happen, but our boy isn't fazed. And just when you think things can't get any more intense, the blonde dude's eyes glow red. No way. Selena is losing it, screaming for someone to save Iris, but it's looking grim, bro. This dude, the one with the dark hair, is getting yanked away, clearly not wanting to leave. Everyone's freaking out, realizing what's happening. Selena is about to be taken by the Demon King of Salvation. He's desperately reaching for Selena, pleading with her, but she's being pulled further and further. More people are shouting for Iris to be saved, a chaotic mess of panic and desperation unfolding. Our boy is getting dragged away, struggling against whoever's got hold of him. This is intense. They're hauling him off, but he's still trying to reach Selena, refusing to give up on her. Someone yells that if they do nothing, Iris is a goner, and the tension is absolutely sky high. A group of people are standing around, looking helpless, while the drama unfolds before them. And then this blonde guy shows up, looking totally unbothered, like he's just observing the chaos. Apparently, they've been tossed into a world full of savage beasts that devour humans at any moment. Yikes. Selena tries to get Anna to forget everything, but Anna's got a steely resolve, standing firm. Anna explains they needed to prepare for this for the survival of everyone, and Selena just looks devastated. Anna's giving a speech now, talking about how she's taking responsibility for everything. It's a power move. We get a super close-up of Anna's ear, then her face. She's totally calm despite the chaos. Anna clutches the microphone, looking out at the crowd. She's owning this moment, bro. She's absolutely radiating confidence, like she's in control of everything, and honestly, it's kinda terrifying. Selena is staring at Anna, and it's clear there's a lot of unspoken tension between these two. Okay, so a man is panicking, clearly worried about someone, probably the blonde guy, being taken away. Anna's laying down the law, telling everyone the story she has is about the Fellowship of the Bracelet. She's explaining the bracelet is key to everything, but it sounds super ominous, like a dangerous deal. This dude is begging Anna to tell him everything. He's desperate for answers, and honestly, fair enough. Anna starts detailing the history of the bracelets, revealing they were created to bind and control incarnations. Wait, she says the bracelets weren't made to help humanity. They were designed to suppress powerful beings. She claims the original owner of the bracelet realized their mistake and tried to destroy them all, but failed. Anna then drops a bomb. The bracelets are still active, and she's been using them to manipulate everything. Now the man is totally freaking out, realizing he's been a pawn in Anna's game this whole time. No way. Anna finishes her story, and honestly, it's a total power play. She's straight up admitting to controlling everything. Okay, so someone, probably a higher-up, is totally scoffing at Anna, thinking her story is some boring tale. But hold up, Anna drops a massive truth bomb. This story is older than the first generation, making everyone rethink everything. Okay, so this dude, a mysterious figure with a fancy coat, is clearly sizing up Iris and her potential contract. He straight up asks if she doesn't like the constellation she's planning to partner with Iris. Iris is hesitant, saying the constellation isn't well known, but then she drops a bomb. He's kinda creepy. She elaborates, apparently this dude says some seriously messed up stuff, borderline perverted things. He's got this unsettling smirk as Iris spills the tea, and it's honestly sending shivers down my spine. Iris finishes her warning, and this guy just confidently says he'll do a good job, no apologies. Something's moving through the trees, and it's clearly not a friendly forest creature. Our boy is rushing through the woods, puffing and panting, trying to get away from something. No way, a message appears saying the Demon King of Salvation wants a supporting contract with him. He shouts that he'll sign the contract, a total power move, but the forest around him is getting seriously ominous. We see a quick flash of massive, feathered feet stomping through the trees. Whatever's chasing our boy is huge. Cut to a fancy room, and a screen displays the same monstrous figure. It's the Demon King of Salvation, apparently. A message pops up saying there are only 6 members left in the fellowship. Things are getting desperate fast. The scene shifts to a grand staircase and a bunch of shadowy figures are gathered, looking all mysterious and important. This older guy, looking totally unimpressed, is mumbling something to the main character, who looks stressed. He asks if the main character joined the fellowship too, and honestly, the tension is thick. A blue-skinned woman laughs, saying she's too old for whatever's going on and isn't interested. But someone points out they don't see the main character's modifier on the list. Oh, that's not good. This dude is clearly hiding something, and I have a feeling it's going to blow up in everyone's faces. Okay, so the contract is signed, and our boy is instantly transported to a dark, creepy forest. He's scrambling through the undergrowth, totally panicked, and the Demon King's monster form is right behind him. The Demon King is straight up colossal, a nightmare of feathers and claws, and it's gaining on him fast. Our boy trips and falls, bracing for impact, but the monster just stops, towering over him menacingly. Back at the fellowship, the older man is grilling the main character, demanding to know why his modifier isn't listed. This dude is trying to play it cool, saying it must be a mistake, but everyone sees right through his lies. He's desperately trying to explain, but the blue-skinned woman is already writing him off as suspicious. Suddenly, the forest scene flashes on screen. The Demon King is toying with our boy, and it's terrifying. The main character bolts, leaving the fellowship to argue, clearly having bigger problems right now. He's running for his life, but the Demon King is still there, looming in the trees. This is not good, folks. The Demon King of Salvation is straight up offering our boy a wish coupon. What a weird flex. But here's the kicker, he can see what Iris sees when he closes his eyes, which is kinda terrifying. Demon King is telling him to calm down, but our boy flinches. Understandable, honestly. He's not sure he can accept the deal, but the Demon King doesn't seem to be taking no for an answer. Suddenly, a massive cloak of energy descends, crackling with blue electricity. It's intense. The Demon King grants him the Assassination King's cloak, and it looks seriously powerful. Our boy is enveloped in darkness, and the cloak fully forms around him, a total transformation. He's now cloaked in shadow, blending into the forest, and the Demon King's monster is looming close. The monster's eyes glow with fiery intensity, and our boy is trying to stay hidden. The tension is real. This dude is completely concealed now, and the monster seems confused. This could be a game changer. The Demon King is skeptical. He's sure Iris had a trick up her sleeve and wants to let her run for a bit. He believes the longer she's out there, the better she'll taste, which is unsettling to say the least. We get a system notification. Iris survived an encounter with the Wraiths. She's one of the fellowship members. The Demon King is focused on Iris, but our boy is still hidden in the shadows, observing everything. Iris is freaking out, claiming she survived, but is she telling the truth? Something feels off. Suddenly, a system notification. The Demon King of Salvation says our boy just got lucky this time. More system info drops. Constellations playing with the Wraiths have limited probability and can only use one attempt. The Demon King drops another bomb, revealing he's only lending the cloak to our boy for now. He's saying it's a temporary boost and they'll take it back eventually. Talk about a catch. Iris keeps insisting she survived, but honestly, her story doesn't add up and the Demon King knows it. Okay, so the Demon King is straight up annoyed. He reveals he paid 150,000 coins for Iris's account. He's analyzing the map, trying to figure out where Iris is, and honestly, it's intense. System notification drops. Only 2 fellowship members remain, and our boy is starting to connect the dots. The system reveals TWSA included a detailed account of the story. It's based on Demon Lord of the Bracelets. Iris is running for her life, dodging trees, but she's clearly injured and things are looking bad. She's desperately trying to outrun the monster, but it's gaining on her fast. No way she'll make it. Demon King's fortress looms, a terrifying, fiery mountain, and Iris is headed right towards it. Straight up, things are bad. A shadowy monster is unleashing a massive attack on our boy, and it's all happening so fast. This monster, it's demanding the incarnation, whatever that is, and threatening to eat him if he doesn't comply. No way. The monster doubles down on the threat, saying it'll just devour him if he doesn't hand it over. Talk about aggressive. But our boy isn't going down without a fight. He activates his white star weapon aura level 8 nice, and his sword is glowing. He swings that sword and it's a whirlwind of energy, slicing right through the monster's attack. A full-on counter is happening. He keeps swinging, dodging, and weaving, but this monster is seriously fast. It's a chaotic dance of blades and shadows. The monster lands a hit, sending our boy flying. However, he's got a skill ready and pushes through the pain. He's back on his feet, sword blazing, and keeps attacking, but the monster just laughs, calling him a baby constellation. Rude. More slashes, more swishes, the energy is off the charts. It's a desperate attempt to break through the monster's defenses. The monster mocks him, saying he's too slow. But our boy isn't backing down. He's ready to give these old-timers a real show. He shouts that he's a constellation too, refusing to be underestimated, and unleashes a massive surge of power. Suddenly, stories within him react. Maverick of the Gourmand Association and Demon King of Salvation are joining the fight. The ground cracks and shatters as his constellation status is fully released, unleashing insane energy. A fiery explosion erupts and the monster is engulfed, but our boy is right in the blast zone too. His body is taking a beating, but he's pushing through, channeling everything he has into one final attack. He swings his sword again, a blinding flash of light cutting through the chaos, and aims straight for the monster. The monster isn't backing down, it meets the attack head-on, and the resulting collision is absolutely earth-shattering. He's pouring everything into this swing, every ounce of energy, every story within him, all focused on one point. But even with all that power, the monster is still standing, barely flinching, and it's seriously intimidating. This dude is going all out, risking everything, but is it enough to take down this terrifying beast? He declares he's only showing a tenth of his true power, straight up flexing on everyone. The monster is stunned, questioning if this rookie actually used Advent. No way. He unleashes another massive swing, energy blazing around the blade, and the monster barely blocks it. But the monster isn't impressed, it's still standing and it's getting seriously annoyed. He tells the monster to get lost or die, talk about a harsh ultimatum, the choice is theirs. Monster calls him arrogant, but honestly, this dude is backing it up with power. Others are shocked by his strength, commenting on the sheer vastness of his star stream. Two onlookers wonder where this guy even came from. They're totally lost. The monster declares this is the best feast it's ever attended. Oh, that's never good. It's revealed the monster is about to devour something, and it looks delicious to it, seriously. The monster attacks, slicing at our boy with a terrifying speed, and he barely manages to raise his sword to defend. But the monster's attack is relentless, sending a shockwave that cracks the very ground around them. It's intense. He counters with a burst of golden energy, slamming into the monster, but it barely flinches. This thing is tough. The monster mocks his lack of swordsmanship, saying he's hopeless, but seriously, talk all you want, beast. He's getting sliced up, dodging attacks by a hair, and blood is flying. It's a brutal fight, no joke. Another massive clash and this dude gets sent flying, crashing through debris. Ouch, that had to hurt. He's covered in wounds but somehow still standing, unleashing another powerful attack. Our boy refuses to fall. The monster deflects the attack, but it's starting to feel the pressure, getting seriously annoyed. Good. He's wounded, exhausted, but still manages to stand defiant, staring down the monster. What a legend. The monster's preparing another attack, a huge wave of energy, and it's coming right for him. This is it. He's reeling from the blast, sword still raised, but everything feels off, like something's changed. The monster notices it too, muttering about something being strange, and that's never good, trust me. Our boy is battered and bruised, breathing heavily, but he grits his teeth and prepares to fight on. What a fighter. He charges, sword glowing, but the monster just laughs, saying he'll have a huge feast today. Talk about rude. The monster unleashes a flurry of attacks, and this dude is getting absolutely pummeled, dodging just barely. He's slammed into the ground, but manages to swing his sword, creating a momentary opening, a glimmer of hope. However, the monster is too fast, easily swatting away the attack and grabbing our boy in its grasp. No way. He struggles trying to break free, but the monster's grip is like iron. It's straight up terrifying. The monster's about to crush him, but then, a flash of light, and the sword glows brighter than ever before. He's unleashing everything he has, and the monster actually flinches. This could be the turning point. He's planning a meal seriously, while dangling over a monster's hand. This dude has priorities. Suddenly, his skills are canceling left and right, miniaturization and electrification just a proof gone, what the heck. He's panicking, eyes wide, realizing something's wrong with the system. It's like his abilities are being suppressed. The monster grabs him tighter, declaring this is his last chance to survive. Talk about a mood killer. Our boy strains, trying to activate something, anything, but everything fails. He's desperate. But wait, a figure emerges from the shadows, cloaked and mysterious, and the monster seems concerned. Everyone in the room gasps, recognizing the newcomer as the prisoner of the golden headband. Whoa, heavy title. He demands a solution, eyes blazing with determination. This guy clearly has a plan, and it's intense. The prisoner is radiating power, staring down the monster. This is about to get real, folks. Okay, so Kim Dokja straight up calls out Asmodeus, one of the demon kings, and this dude doesn't even flinch. Asmodeus just smirks, looking way too pleased as he's casually rocked by some kind of power surge. Seriously, the energy is crackling. Kim Dokja gets hit, falling to his knees with a bloody gash, but Asmodeus is like, oh, that was only 10% of my power. No way. Asmodeus says he needs to finish something before something bad happens, sounding super ominous, and honestly, we're all on edge. Suddenly, Halt flashes on screen and Asmodeus is frozen in place. Kim Dokja is clearly doing something to hold him back. But it's a temporary fix. Kim Dokja explains there are no more constellations left to use, and Asmodeus's eyes widen with realization. We get a close-up of Kim Dokja looking wrecked, barely holding on, while Asmodeus just keeps smirking. Then this massive, terrifying creature emerges from the ground, all teeth and spikes. It's a horrifying sight, bro. Asmodeus reveals he devoured all the constellations, and this beast is the result. It's like he's flexing on everyone. He boasts about consuming them all, and honestly, this dude is straight up terrifying, and Kim Dokja is in deep trouble. Asmodeus says if Kim Dokja kills him, the colossal story will be lost, and honestly, that's a huge threat. He's basically saying he's the only one who knows the ending, and Kim Dokja's face drops. He flinches hard. Then the special effect of air and sword ends, and it starts cracking. No way, not now. Lightning arcs around the blade, and it's clear Kim Dokja is losing control, but he needs that sword. Asmodeus asks how Kim Dokja can be so sure he's telling the truth, and it's a legit question. This dude is playing mind games. He claims there was never a guarantee the 30% would actually be his, and Kim Dokja is furious. Kim Dokja demands to know why Asmodeus is messing with him, and Asmodeus is straight up enjoying this. Asmodeus says he's doing this because he's scared of losing to the other constellations, and that's a big reveal. Kim Dokja is all so you're scared, and Asmodeus just smirks, but it's a shaky smirk, honestly. Our boy is pushing Asmodeus, and this confrontation is about to explode. I'm so hyped right now. Kim Dokja's losing it, straight up threatening to devour Asmodeus, and it's intense. He's screaming at Asmodeus not to get lost, but Asmodeus just opens his mouth in a terrifying grin. Yu Young-yuk challenges Asmodeus, telling him to try and kill her if he wants to eat her. She's not backing down. A screen appears showing a file named 3 Ways, First Edit, TXT, and it's a flashback to their strategy session. They realize they messed up dealing with Asmodeus because he loves opponents who refuse to compromise. Suddenly, a notification pops up. Your understanding of Asmodeus increased. Kim Dokja's leveling up his knowledge. Another notification flashes, and this time we get a full look at Asmodeus, cloaked and imposing. Lee Jihai is standing firm, sword drawn, but the dark energy around them is seriously creeping me out. Asmodeus lets out a breathy awe, and the scene gets distorted, like something's about to break. The whole screen glitches, and honestly, it looks like Asmodeus is about to unleash something huge. Asmodeus is grabbing Kim Dokja, and honestly, it looks super painful. No way. Kim Dokja yells no, but Asmodeus just laughs, and it's a seriously creepy sound. Yu Young-yuk screams, and Asmodeus is straight up squeezing Kim Dokja tighter. Asmodeus says Kim Dokja is so soft, and that's disturbing to say the least. He's holding Kim Dokja close, and the scene shifts to a flashback of their plan. Asmodeus explains he won't be as generous next time, and that's a massive threat. Yu Young-yuk sprints forward, trying to get Kim Dokja away from Asmodeus. He reaches for Kim Dokja, but he's tumbling away, clearly in rough shape. Kim Dokja is falling, and the situation is looking dire. This is bad, bro. He's crashing down, face contorted, and honestly, this dude is in trouble. Yu Young-hyuk's going down, straight up tumbling into the lava, but Kim Dokja's reaching for her. He manages to grab her hand, pulling her back from the edge, and it's a close one, bro. But Asmodeus is faster. He snatches Yu Young-hyuk away, tossing her like she's nothing. Kim Dokja tries to follow, leaping after her, but Asmodeus blasts him with a wave of power. He's sent flying, crashing into the rocks, and honestly, that looked incredibly painful. Asmodeus is all pathetic, and then he reveals he's been playing with them the whole time. He's showing off a ring, some kind of ancient relic, and it's glowing with insane power. The ring has inscriptions, weakness reliever, and it's clearly amplifying Asmodeus' abilities. Asmodeus unleashes a massive blast of energy, and the volcano is erupting even more. Kim Dokja's looking up, determined, and he's gotta have a plan. Our boy never gives up. Kim Dokja's activating his constellation, and it's a big one, granting him 150,000 coins. The sky is splitting open, revealing a crazy scene of mountains and a blinding light. A massive crater forms, overflowing with lava, and it's straight up terrifying. Asmodeus is getting obliterated, but he's laughing. This dude is insane. Everything's going dark, like the scene is fading, and we lose sight of Asmodeus. The volcano is erupting even harder, rocks are falling everywhere, and it's total chaos. Kim Dokja is on the ground, completely wrecked, and his viewpoint is deactivated. No way. We get a close-up of his face and he looks defeated, but that can't be right. Yu Young-hyuk is also down, lying amongst the debris, and it's a grim sight, bro. But wait, Kim Dokja's reputation with the Command Association has dropped, and things are changing. He's recalling the scenario where Young-hyuk dies, and honestly, it's brutal. But he realizes this isn't a memory, it's a warning. He can change the future. Okay, so this powerful dude from the Command Association is laying down the law. What happens in these scenarios stays in the scenarios. Got it. He's seriously ticked off. Someone broke the rules by fighting outside the designated space. Apparently, it's a huge disgrace for the association. However, he pauses, admitting he has a request for whoever's responsible, and the tension is building. You can feel it. Suddenly, this mysterious guy, the Demon King of Salvation, shows up looking all cool and collected, right next to the furious elder. Someone's watching the interaction closely, and they're clearly scheming, wondering how to get on the Demon King's good side. The elder is laying it all out. He's desperate and completely understands he's in a tough spot, asking for a favor. He reveals he's bringing up the Demon King selection, but from nowhere, which is a bold move to say the least. This other woman is convinced no one will help him, and she's got a point. The Demon King is a tough crowd. The woman with the golden eyes is grinning, clearly thinking she can manipulate things to her advantage. No way this will end well. She's thinking about what she can say to earn their favor, but honestly, this whole situation feels like a trap. This dude is straight up remembering all the failed attempts to become the Demon King before him. He's declaring he's going to write a new story, one that's never been seen before, which is a bold claim. Our boy is standing tall, radiating confidence, and honestly, it's kinda intimidating. He's making a grand entrance into this fancy party, looking like he owns the place. Two very confused elders are staring him down, and they have no idea what he means by a new story. One elder asks what that even means, and another chimes in with an ancient prophecy. Apparently, the Dokja King said there are no new stories under the star stream. Talk about a buzzkill. But our boy isn't backing down. He's determined to break that rule and forge his own path. He's got a plan, and it's clear he's not afraid to rewrite everything, even destiny itself. And honestly, this is about to get wild. I can feel it. Okay, so this elder is grilling our boy about stories, asking about archmages and reincarnators, basically all the usual tropes. He casually replies they'll likely be included, but then mentions SSS-grade hunters, and things get interesting. But hold up, another elder interrupts, saying she prefers characters who earn their power through effort, which is fair. However, a different elder is totally confused and asks how a story can be unique when everything's already been done. Our boy drops a bomb. A story doesn't need brand new elements to feel fresh, and he's about to prove it. He's laying down the gauntlet, basically saying he's gonna take all these tired tropes and make something amazing happen. The elder is skeptical, asking if he's just going to fill it with the same old cliches, and honestly, she has a point. But our boy is not having it. He's declaring he'll rewrite the story, and his confidence is radiating off the page. He's saying a story doesn't need originality, only a different approach, and I'm getting major villain vibes. And seriously, this dude is about to turn everything on its head, and I am here for it. So one of the elders asks if he's comparing his story to the first-generation masterpieces, and this dude straight up says no. He declares he isn't trying to make art and then lets out a kinda creepy laugh. It's a power move, I swear. Another elder calls him ridiculous, but our boy just ignores her, clearly unfazed by the shade. Then he drops the biggest bomb yet. His story isn't about originality, it's about the ending. He says his story will be the ending of every scenario, and the panel shows a notebook with the END scribbled on it. Meanwhile, the monstrous elder is looking down on everything, and honestly, he seems unimpressed. We get a quick shot of another elder looking worried, and a blonde guy looking totally stressed. The crowd is murmuring, convinced our boy has lost it, but honestly, I think he's playing 5D chess. He's leaning forward, radiating confidence, and it's kinda terrifying and awesome all at once. But the monster elder, he's not buying it. He's definitely not buying it. So the monster elder asks what he wants from them. Is he asking them to follow him to the end of all scenarios? He confirms it, straight up saying he wants people to walk with him to the very end of every single story. The monster elder then asks what the name of his nebula is, which is a totally weird question, honestly. Our boy casually reveals he hasn't even founded this nebula yet. Talk about a power move. He asks how many founding members there are, and the monster elder says 2, which is sus. He declares one of them will be a member, and everyone's like, who's the other? He's thinking about whether they are another constellation, and then we get a flash of lightning and a crackling sound. He says the other member isn't a constellation, but is heavy with meaning. Wait, is it him? He's looking at that monstrous elder, and it's a total shock. No way, the monster elder is the other founding member. This is getting intense, bro. Okay, so the monster elder announces the match is about to start and introduces Young-hyuk Yu as the pupil of the sky-breaking sword master. Then a tiny, adorable, but kinda creepy monster pops up and starts announcing Young-hyuk Yu's title, the Supreme King. Suddenly, the camera pans down to reveal Lingling Xiuge, one of the 10 great masters of Wuxia. She's straight up gorgeous. But wait, things get weird. A video starts playing on the panel, and someone's asking why it's even there. This dude is clearly suspicious, questioning if Anna Croft is behind this, and honestly, same. Camera focuses on the long-haired blonde guy, and he's looking down at someone with a smug expression. It's Lingling Xiuge looking absolutely devastated, and it's clear she's the target of his gaze. He's basically saying she's nothing special, and she's covering her ears, totally heartbroken. But the blonde dude isn't done. He's leaning in closer, and Xiuge looks like she's about to fall apart. Okay, so things are insane right now. A huge betting war just erupted around Young-hyuk Yu, and this dude is straight up walking into it. Someone throws down 1 million coins on our buy. No way, that's a massive gamble, and everyone's losing their minds. The Demon King of Salvation is the one making the bet, which is concerning to say the least. This is getting serious. But hold up, Morning Star Goddess is backing you too, showing favor and making things even more complicated. She's a powerful ally. Then a monstrous hulking beast appears, and it's immediately placing another 300,000 coins on you. What is happening? Everyone is shocked by the escalating bets. Clearly this fight is attracting a lot of attention from powerful constellations. The beast roars, looking absolutely terrifying, and honestly, it's making Yu's chances seem way more dangerous. Yu's getting all the support, but it's feeling less like a good thing and more like everyone's expecting a huge showdown. However, the fact that both the Demon King and the Morning Star Goddess are invested means this isn't just a fight, it's a power play. This dude is about to be the center of a cosmic battle, and honestly, I'm on the edge of my seat, bro. Okay, so the betting war is escalating. The Queen of the Darkest Spring just threw down 300,000 coins on Yu. Yu is totally confused, asking what's going on, but the Morning Star Goddess is giving him a seriously intense look. She warns him to watch his mouth, threatening to toss him into Tartarus. Talk about a quick escalation. Someone asks if she even made a bet, and she admits she did, claiming business at the Dokja shop was slow. But here's the kicker, the crowd starts chanting kill him, and things are getting seriously chaotic. A monstrous figure threatens Yu, saying if he loses this bet, our boy is dead. No pressure, right? Yu's completely surrounded, and honestly, this dude is walking into a trap. I can feel it. However, it looks like the constellations are willing to risk it all, betting insane amounts of coins on this fight. The betting continues, and it's clear that this isn't just about the fight, it's about power, influence, and a whole lot of money. This is straight up a cosmic game, and Yu is the piece everyone's moving around, but I have a feeling he's about to flip the board. Yu's omniscient reader skill activates, but it can't connect to his target. Something's blocking it. He asks Young Yoyak if this is how he intends to play, and it's clear Yu is about to unleash something huge. A little ghost spirit Biwu appears, crackling with energy. It's seriously adorable, yet ominous. Yu's suit starts tearing apart as power surges through him, and things are getting intense fast. The suit rips completely, revealing a colossal, terrifying dragon form. No way. This dragon roars, and the arena is instantly engulfed in icy blue energy. It's straight up apocalyptic. The crowd is frozen solid, and the betting numbers flash wildly. This fight just went to another level. Yu in dragon form lets out a monstrous roar, and honestly, the power is breathtaking. The dragon's power is unstable, and the whole arena is beginning to crack under the strain. This dude just went from 0 to ultimate dragon form, and I think everyone is realizing they underestimated Yu. Yu, still transforming into the dragon, is blasting through the arena. It's total chaos. But the transformation isn't clean, and chunks of the arena are exploding around him. He lets out a massive roar, and the entire place shakes. This dude is unleashing serious power. The Demon King of Salvation suddenly appears, observing Yu with intense interest. Someone asks Yu if he's done, but the Demon King says the business is still in progress. Ominous. We get a close-up of Yu's face, and he's radiating pure, focused fury. This is getting good. Yu accuses someone of having a hand in whatever just happened, and the tension is unreal. A blinding blue light shoots forward, and Yu's dragon form is rocketing toward a massive beast. This huge green monster is revealed, and it looks seriously pissed. A showdown is brewing. Yu, still in dragon form, slams into the beast, and it's a full-on collision of epic proportions. The Demon King just tossed 100 coins to Yu, but our boy is not accepting handouts. He straight up rejects them. Yu blasts off towards the beast, and it's a full-speed collision, sending shockwaves everywhere. The monster roars in pain, but Yu's Tiger God aura took some damage too, even from a glancing blow. Yu's going all out, channeling power, and honestly, the energy radiating from him is insane. The monster tries to retaliate, but Yu unleashes a devastating attack. It's a flurry of golden energy. The beast is getting wrecked, exploding into bits and pieces, but Yu is clearly struggling to maintain control. Yu's pushing himself way too hard. Mastering Transcendence Stage 2 in 2 weeks was a massive challenge, even for him. He needs help, and he knows it, admitting he can't do this alone. That's a big moment for our boy. Yu realizes someone, the omniscient reader, understands what he's going through, and he's counting on that. He believes the reader will get his meaning, and honestly, that's a powerful connection to have right now. Yu flat out refuses to die, declaring it to the Demon King. Talk about stubbornness. The Demon King throws shade, saying Yu's being unreasonable, but our boy isn't backing down. Yu demands Dokja handle his part of the plan, which is a bold move considering his state. Someone is questioning why Yu's being so reckless, and where the heck the sky-breaking sword master is. Scene cuts to a bizarre sight, people casually eating while chaos erupts. No way. Someone's actually asking if they're kidding, completely bewildered by the chill vibes amidst the battle. This dude is literally dripping sauce while munching, and honestly, it's a mood, a chaotic mood. Yu's getting pulled down, clearly exhausted, and it looks like he's about to collapse. He's falling, and it's a rough landing, but someone's there to catch him. Thank goodness for allies. Everyone's shocked. Turns out Yumyeok Yu, aka sky-breaking sword beauty, is the one who snatched Lingling, not the supposed master. The announcer straight up declares Yumyeok Yu the winner of the match, and the crowd is losing it. The judges announce Yumyeok Yu, the sky-breaking sword beauty, as the winner, and honestly, this dude's a beast. He's got this intense look, all cool and collected, and people are still trying to process what just happened. The Gourmand Association's wager is complete, and our boy has won big time. A notification pops up. He's obtained Story, the Miracle Gambler, and things are about to get wild. His coin count jumps from 2, 790, 876 to 5, 490, 875. That's a massive boost. He's staring at the amount, completely stunned, realizing he just hit the jackpot. 5 million coins, he's speechless, and you can feel the power surging through him. But this isn't just about the coins. This dude is leveling up and the story is changing right before our eyes. Okay, so a constellation, prisoner of the golden headband, is seriously envious of our boy right now. What even is that? He's congratulating the underworld, but it feels off, like a weird setup is happening. Everyone's protesting, saying it's impossible, but the guy just stares them down, unbothered. Another constellation, impetuous swamp predator, is straight up furious, and things are about to explode. This massive swamp monster thing bursts onto the scene, and honestly, it looks terrifying. The monster roars and lunges, and everyone's scrambling to get out of the way. It's chaos, the monster is swinging, and the crowd is scattering like ants. The monster goes for someone, and the scene is a blur of green energy and destruction. Someone yells, "Get him," and everyone starts chasing the monster. It's a full-blown panic. Our boy and the others are trying to escape, but this monster is relentless. No way they'll get out easy. Someone accuses him of defending the monster just because he won coins. Talk about a low blow. The monster is called Queen of the Underworld, and it's seriously intimidating, bro. He's had enough and demands everyone show some respect, but they just scoff at him. Suddenly, a massive crack echoes, and electric energy surges around him like crazy. He unleashes a blinding blast of power. It's intense, and everyone is stunned silent. The energy explodes outward, and the crowd is sent flying. It's absolute chaos. From the balcony, someone spots the monster and is totally shocked by what's happening. A message appears: a wish coupon used by a demon king is now active, and the monster is glowing. The monster lets out a terrifying roar and tries to halt whatever's happening, but it's too late. Everyone is scrambling, confused by a sudden portal appearing, and someone yells, "Could it be the otherworld god?" Everyone's freaking out. They realize this monster is a great Dokja, a seriously high-level being. Someone starts explaining the Dokja ranks: low grade, mid grade, upper mid. It's a whole system. But hold up, there's even a high-grade Dokja, and then something above that. This is getting intense. The truly powerful ones, the 12-colored horned Dokja, are called the Great Dokja. They are the top dogs. Two people are staring at the monster, completely dumbfounded, and honestly, they should be. This dude is a Great Dokja straight up, and he's got that intimidating look down pat. He's got horns, glowing eyes, and a serious aura. This isn't some chump change monster, bro. He's basically saying, "You mortals dare question me," and the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Our boy isn't backing down. He's staring right back, challenging this powerful being. This is a showdown, no doubt. However, it feels like our boy is way outmatched. This could get messy. Heilong, the Great Dokja, is towering over everyone, and this woman walks up like it's no big deal. She asks about the King of Stories. Apparently, she's the queen of the underworld. No way. She casually says he's doing well, then asks what she wants, straight up demanding answers. Heilong notices she brought the Dokja executive division with her, and is clearly unimpressed. He's flexing on them, saying they even brought reinforcements, but it won't matter, bro. This dude is intimidating, and the close-up on his face shows he means business. She's not fazed, though, and confidently asks what he wants to talk about. Heilong declares this party is over, and the tension is real. The Dokja unleashes a blast of energy, and it's looking like a serious fight is about to go down. But Heilong isn't attacking them. The energy is aimed at someone behind them, and it's a total surprise. Heilong unleashes a massive attack, but it's not aimed at the queen. It's heading for Jumho, straight up blindsiding everyone. The Dokja executive division tries to intercept, creating a barrier, but it's barely holding against the sheer force. The attack breaks through, and it looks like Jumho is about to get obliterated. No way. But the queen jumps in front of Jumho, taking the brunt of the blast. She's a total badass. She's clearly injured, but she doesn't even flinch, and somehow manages to deflect some of the energy. Heilong is shocked she managed to withstand his attack, and is starting to realize she's not to be underestimated. He scoffs, saying reinforcements don't matter, but the queen just stares him down, completely unfazed. Haelong declares this party is over, and bro, the look on his face says he's seriously about to unleash hell. Okay, so our boy Dokja is back at the Heavenly Sword building, looking all brooding and mysterious. Cherry blossoms are falling everywhere. It's kinda pretty, honestly, but it feels like a really bad omen. He's just chilling on the steps, scrolling through his phone when Yusung shows up, looking way too cheerful. Yusung immediately launches into a sneak attack, tackling Dokja. What is wrong with this dude? Yusung brags about placing third in the competition, but Dokja is clearly not impressed, and he's annoyed. Dokja casually drops that it was a piece of cake to place in the competition, and Yusung's face is hilarious. Yusung then demands to see the demon spirit pellet, getting all up in Dokja's space, which is super sus. Dokja asks why, but Yusung doesn't even bother answering, just keeps pushing for the pellet. Yusung's smile is getting creepier and creepier, and Dokja is starting to look genuinely worried. But Dokja is playing it cool, still trying to figure out what Yusung is really up to, and honestly, it's kinda tense. Dokja realizes someone said something like that before, and it's clearly bothering him. Yusung is holding a dark-colored pellet in a fancy box, and it's a big deal. Apparently, it unlocks insane power. The box explains this pellet opens meridians and makes you way stronger than normal martial artists. No way. But there's a curse. You need to grind 3 great reversion pellets with a demon spirit pellet to avoid it. Yusung is taking the pellets and a tiny floating spirit is freaking out. It's kinda cute, honestly. He's checking the Dokja shop and the great reversion pellet is super expensive, 200,000 coins a pop. Dokja straight up buys 3 of those pellets, 600,000 coins. This dude is loaded. The system announces the purchase, and Yusung and a mysterious figure look shocked by the extravagance. Some constellations are apparently envious of Dokja's spending, which is kind of funny. Other constellations are curious about the effects of the pellet, and things are definitely about to get wild. Yusung tries to warn Dokja about the pellet, saying it's cursed by the Demon King, but our boy is already reaching for it. Dokja crushes the 3 great reversion pellets and the demon spirit pellet together, and it's intense. Everything is grinding and breaking. He finishes the process and sends the mixture flying, but Yusung catches it with a swish. Dokja collapses, looking totally drained, and Yusung casually offers him a drink. Yusung says it needs time to work, and Dokja just accepts it, trusting this dude way too much if you ask me. Yusung calls out to Dokja, and a shadowy figure emerges, looking absolutely terrifying. A dog is chowing down on food in the background while this whole tense scene unfolds. Priorities, I guess. Yusung is talking to a blonde man, and they both glance over at Dokja, who's still recovering. Yusung says, "Hey, Dokja," and honestly, that tone is super suspicious. Everything is set up for a big reveal, and this dude is clearly playing a longer game. Yusung casually asks if Dokja won, and straight up, this dude just dropped 8 million. Yusung's jaw drops. He's absolutely stunned by the amount, and it's hilarious. Shadowy figure reveals he actually won 8 million, and Yusung is completely losing it. Yusung stammers, trying to process the massive winnings, while Dokja looks unbothered. Yusung awkwardly asks why Dokja would want to be his incarnation, but Dokja deflects, saying he already has a constellation. Yusung insists he wasn't asking for any reason, but his expression says otherwise. Something's definitely up. Dokja reaches out, and Yusung instinctively flinches back, like he's expecting something bad. Dokja's expression is intense, and Yusung looks seriously nervous. This interaction is so suspicious. Yusung claims he was just curious, but our boy Dokja isn't buying it for a second. This dude Yusung is playing a long game, and honestly, I have a bad feeling about it. Dokja is all smiles, straight up offering Yusung a snack, and it's so unsettling given everything we know. Yusung's expression shifts. He looks genuinely confused, but also calculating. This dude is a mystery. Dokja says he'll be Yusung's incarnation no matter what, but Yusung's getting increasingly suspicious. Something's off. Yusung demands to know if Dokja even tried reaching out, and honestly, the tension is thick. Yusung is questioning everything. Did someone say Dokja would take him? But Dokja just doesn't respond. Yusung's getting more frantic, but Dokja is totally unfazed, and it's killing me. Dokja steps forward, and Yusung instinctively flinches. No way, this dude is scared of our boy. Yusung tries to play it cool, saying he doesn't know Dokja's modifier, but it's a pathetic attempt. Dokja's closing in and Yusung looks utterly trapped. The power dynamic is shifting fast. Yusung is clearly freaking out and Dokja's expression is unreadable. This confrontation is about to explode. Yusung straight up loses it, screaming at Dokja, demanding to know what he's planning. It's intense. Dokja doesn't even flinch, he just stares Yusung down, and this dude is visibly cracking under the pressure. Yusung explodes, lashing out physically, but Dokja's reaction is so calm it's honestly terrifying. Okay, so a massive hole just rips open in the sky and everyone's freaking out. It's not a constellation, it's something way bigger. People are scrambling, clearly terrified, while a family tries to get away from the chaos unfolding around them. Two guys are discussing what's happening, and they realize this isn't just some random event, it's the otherworld gods arriving. They aren't constellations, they're actual gods, and honestly, this is bad news for everyone involved. A huge, terrifying dragon appears, and it's straight up massive, like city-level threat kind of massive. One of the guys says this is happening way too soon, implying things are accelerating at a dangerous pace. The dragon isn't alone. Knights on mythical beasts are also descending from the sky, forming a seriously intimidating force. The arrival of these gods is a huge deal, and everyone is realizing the world is about to change drastically. It seems like the invasion is starting, but someone insists it's still too early for this to be happening. Our boy is definitely worried, and you can feel the tension building. This is gonna be a wild ride, I just know it. Our boy realizes something's pushed the timeline forward, like way too fast, and he's freaking out about what went wrong. They spot the source of the chaos, a swirling vortex of energy, and it's connected to the dragon from before. Someone insists this disaster can't start yet, not until enough plausibility builds up, whatever that means. Turns out that plausibility comes from constellations, and this dude is blaming the martial arts competition for jump-starting everything. He's ranting about how constellations are actively making things worse, and honestly, we're with him. The constellations apparently fueled that monstrous dragon, and it's now the spark that's igniting this whole catastrophe. This dude is livid, cursing those constellations under his breath, and a little notification pops up saying they find him entertaining. He's questioning where the disaster is beginning, and a system message confirms it's about to go down. The system message says the otherworld god is preparing to invade, and the screen is glitching like crazy with the word rumble. No way, the invasion is starting now, and the world is about to get turned upside down. Someone yells for everyone to run, but it's already too late. The dragon is descending. Panic erupts as the dragon lands, and someone shouts what's happening, totally confused. Our boy's got a sinister smirk. He knew this was coming, but it's still terrifying to see. The dragon's shadow engulfs everything, and a question mark hangs over the chaos. What is even going on? This dude is desperately trying to escape, but the dragon's looming closer and closer. No way out. He's falling, struggling against the monstrous shadow, and the dragon's power is overwhelming. The words, "the stories of the living," flash across the screen. This is a full-blown disaster. The dragon's silhouette fills the sky, and everything's glitching out. It's a total visual overload. Someone screams in agony as the dragon's attack lands, and it's brutal straight up. A system message announces only 30 minutes until the disaster scenario begins. We are so not ready. He's called master by someone, and our boy looks totally freaked out, like majorly unsettled. Get a back view of the speaker, and his hair is styled in a seriously epic bun with a hairpin. The speaker addresses him as master again, and this dude is clearly bracing for something huge. Someone's rushing toward them, a whole squad of warriors, and they're moving fast. Our boy flinches, and it's clear whatever's happening is catching him off guard, even knowing the story. The first wave of attackers arrives, and they're all decked out in traditional robes and weapons. More warriors pour in, and honestly, it's a full-on ambush, a total chaotic mess. The speaker shouts that they're the clan heads from the Blue Dragon Castle, and now everything clicks. They're here for Sky-breaking Sword Master, and it's about to go down. This is the showdown we've been waiting for. Wait, they're all looking at him, the only reader, and it's clear this disaster scenario is personal. The clan heads are begging him for his power, seriously, straight up pleading for help with the Wuxia worlds. He asks if they need his power, and his tone is icy. This dude is not amused, not one bit. One of the clan heads dramatically begs him, but it feels so fake, like, please, get over yourself. An elder steps forward, asking him to look after their descendants, but our boy is not buying it. Another clan head scoffs and calls it a joke, and honestly, we're starting to agree with him. He drops the bomb. They were the ones who abandoned her first, and the tension is thick. He's accusing them of forgetting their past deeds, and it's a total mic drop moment. No way. But wait, the elder is furious, demanding to know who he's talking about. This is escalating fast. Our boy just stares them down, totally unfazed, and it's honestly kinda terrifying. He's got zero chill. He's reminding them they abandoned her, and it's clear this is about a seriously messed up past. Someone calls him Great Master, but points out he's never said that to her before. Ouch, that's a burn. The clan leader is losing it, stammering a weak well. He's clearly rattled by this whole situation. Our boy is straight up questioning if they think he's brave or just foolish for even being here. He demands to know why she severed ties with the Namgum clan. This is getting intense, bro. But then a shadowy figure drops to his knees, whispering about cursed blood and titans. What is happening? The elder shouts at someone to shut their mouth. He's trying to control the narrative, but it's too late. Everyone's staring at the fallen figure, demanding to know who this mysterious man is. The tension is unreal. They're identifying him as Sky-Breaking Sword Master, and that name clearly means something huge. Clan leader is freaking out, and it's clear this reveal changes everything. 10 minutes until total chaos. Seriously, the disaster scenario is about to kick off. The city's going down in flames, meteors are falling, and it's straight up apocalyptic out there. Someone gets absolutely blasted by an explosion, and it's not pretty. A lot of yelling and impact. Two people are scrambling to escape, yelling at each other to just run already. A car explodes right next to them, and it's a close call. This dude is dodging debris like a pro. One of them wants to go back for others, but the other explains they can leave because they aren't from this scenario. But their master is still there, and apparently she's coming with them no matter what. This dude insists she's special, which feels like a huge red flag. Seriously, what's the catch? They're trying to escape this insane disaster, but honestly, it's looking rough. Our boy knows what's up, and it's a desperate race against time as the city crumbles around them. A massive portal rips open, and it's straight up terrifying, like disaster level bad. They spot the portal and floor it in the car, but debris is flying everywhere. The car swerves to avoid wreckage, but a tire blows, screeching, and sparks are flying. Our boy yells, "Let's go," and they barrel towards a tunnel as the world falls apart. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appears behind them. Who is this mysterious dude? The shadowy figure is revealed to be a powerful man with striking eyes, and he's not happy. He's running alongside the car, barefoot, and honestly, that's intimidating. This dude's got a serious look on his face, like he's about to unleash something big. The man's power starts to manifest, and it's a whole lot of energy. This is gonna be intense. Our boy knows the story of disaster is descending, and things are about to get real. The man unleashes a massive shout. It's a declaration for all the Wuxia world's fighters to gather. He's launching himself into the air, powered by insane energy, and honestly, it's a breathtaking sight. Back at the gate, the two men watch as the city starts to fall apart, realizing the scale of the disaster. People are screaming, buildings are collapsing, and it's total chaos, but our boy is focused on the man in the air. One man is desperately trying to help someone trapped under debris, while others are just panicking. The crowd below starts cheering for the Sky-Breaking Sword Master, but it's a bittersweet moment amidst all the destruction. Our boy realizes this is the moment from the novel where everything changes, and he needs to prepare for what's next. However, he knows this man's declaration is a trap, a signal for the real enemy to appear. He's bracing himself, knowing the true villain will use this opportunity to strike, and it's super tense. But the man is already preparing for a fight, and bro is about to go all out. Our boy is questioning why the Sky-Breaking Sword Master is acting so strange, wondering if it's about all the messed up things he did. The Sword Master demands they come with him, but this dude is straight up panicking. He remembers what happens next. He's desperately calling out to the Sword Master, but it's like he's not even listening, and honestly, it's terrifying. The Sword Master's face is all intense, and our boy realizes this is a crucial moment from the novel, a turning point. Wait, the Sword Master launches into a full-on attack. No way, he's destroying everything around them. Someone screams for help as the Sword Master's attack demolishes the area, and it's brutal. The sword master asks if they've ever thought about how many trees need to stand together to make a forest. It's a super creepy philosophical question. The sword master's attack lands and everything explodes. It's absolutely chaotic and destructive. The man shouts about a promise, accusing the sword master of forgetting their deal. It's a desperate plea for understanding. Our boy is reeling, realizing the sword master isn't who he thought, and this whole situation is about to get way worse. The man desperately yells for his master, but it feels like a lost cause, honestly. A massive creature appears and it's straight up terrifying. Everything starts glitching out. The creature attacks and the man's master tries to protect him, but it's looking grim. He's clutching his chest, clearly hurt, and is begging his master to run, but it's too late. His master insists they aren't alone, and our boy is starting to realize he's not giving up. Master's clothes are getting ripped to shreds, but he's standing strong, defiant against the monster. He claims he couldn't make it through alone, and this dude is laying it all on the line. The master closes his eyes and seems to be smiling, and it's a super unsettling moment. But wait, he's saying they're not alone, and they're going to face this thing together. The master and the other man stand back to back, ready to fight, and it's an epic team-up. No way the master drops a bomb. They have to stop the entire world from being destroyed. Someone shouts sky-breaking sword master as a massive dog appears, barking like crazy. The master is suddenly in a sleek suit, looking all serious, but he's clearly injured. He tells Yoongyuk they have to go, and honestly, the urgency is insane right now. Close up on the master's eye, you can see cracks forming around it, which is super creepy. The master gets grabbed by Yoongyuk, and you can see a sword hilt peeking out. He pleads with Yoongyuk to take care of his pupils. It's a heartbreaking request. Look at these meteors falling. Straight up apocalyptic vibes are hitting hard. They're facing the end of the world together, bro. This is it. This dude is checking his phone and it's showing he's completed the second edit, whatever that is, earning a ton of points. He's getting serious numbers over 4,890,000 points, but bro is looking worried, like this isn't good news. He's clutching this ornate, high-tech looking phone. It's clearly important and probably tied to all those points. Our boy is desperately trying to tell someone that the sky-breaking sword master is still alive. No way. He's spilling it all, saying she'll survive and come back, but he's clearly freaking out while doing it. He's practically begging, saying he has to tell them, and his face is a mess with sweat and desperation. He's trying to convince someone of something, and honestly, he looks completely unhinged right now. But then he flashes this creepy, knowing smile, a real I know something you don't vibe, and it's unsettling to say the least. He's trying to sound confident, but he's still sweating, and something's definitely off with this whole situation. He's doubling down on the sky-breaking sword master surviving, and it's like he's trying to convince himself as much as anyone else. He's laying it all out. He will do whatever it takes, no matter the cost. He's telling this shadowy figure he's going to fight, struggle, and flip everything on its head. The figure just stares, and our boy is starting to look seriously unnerved. He's squinting like he's trying to read something in the figure's expression. It's intense. The figure is slumped over, looking defeated, and this dude asks if that's really how it is. He's getting closer, demanding to know what's going on with the sky-breaking sword master. The figure starts moving, and our boy is straight up backing away. This is getting tense. He's trying to escape, but the figure is blocking the exit, trapped with a potentially dangerous foe. However, someone calls him out, seeing that outburst wasn't like him at all, and it's a total mood. He's locked on the figure with this intense stare. Our boy is definitely hiding something big. He's clicking something on his device, and it's a revised version of the Apocalypse Survival Guide. No way. He reads the guide, and it says the ending might have been rewritten. That's a massive claim, bro. The fourth wall is literally shaking. This is getting wild, and he's starting to freak out. He demands to know what happened to the sky-breaking sword master, but the figure just collapses. He rushes over, grabs the figure, and it's Hae-yeon. Straight up, this is a shock. Hae-yeon is sobbing, and our boy is holding him tight. This is a total 180 from the tension. He asks if Hae-yeon remembers wanting to save the Wuxia worlds, and it's like a memory trigger. They're driving away in a red car, and Hae-yeon is still a mess, but they're escaping for now. But this isn't a clean getaway. People are gathering, looking right at the car, and it's ominous. However, the figure is revealing a massive truth. He's been rewriting the story, and it's all connected. They arrive at this insane, futuristic building. It's Starstream, and it's huge. Inside, they find a figure slumped against the window, overlooking everything, and Hae-young rushes toward him. This dude is clearly not okay, groaning and looking totally defeated, but our boy is determined. The figure demands they look at him, and then he starts unleashing this massive power, bro. He says their homeland is safe because of them, but it's a weirdly ominous statement, honestly. Our boy is straight up furious, yelling that they already told him we won't. He's not backing down. The figure tries to explain that time has been reset to their original scenario region. But our boy isn't having it and demands to know why things are still moving forward. The figure repeats that their homeland is safe now. It's like he's trying to reassure them, but it's not landing. And then he just shuts down, refusing to say anything more, leaving our boy completely frustrated. Hae-young demands to know who this figure is waiting for, and our boy finally spills. It's someone who owes him money. He reveals this person scammed him, and he's waiting to collect, which is a very relatable mood, honestly. Suddenly, the door explodes open, and this absolutely massive, terrifying creature storms in, stopping everything. This beast is furious, straight up yelling about being scammed, and it's a chaotic mess of fur and teeth. He's calling the scammer a Dokja, basically a monster, and it's clear this is a serious beef. The creature unleashes a massive blast of energy, and it looks like everyone is about to get wrecked. However, someone is already here. A figure in elaborate robes appears, shielding them from the attack. Our boy is shocked to see them, but the creature isn't impressed and keeps raging about the money he lost. The figure calmly states this is another coin debtor who showed up, and it's so nonchalant, it's hilarious. The creature lunges forward, ready for a fight, and it's about to be an all-out brawl, bro. The robed figure unleashes a blinding blue energy, and it slams into the massive creature with a thud. But the beast doesn't even flinch, it's just annoyed and roars right back at the figure, demanding its money. The creature lunges and the figure barely dodges, narrowly avoiding a bite from those terrifying teeth. Our boy tries to intervene, unleashing his own energy, but the creature swats it away like it's nothing. He's sent flying, crashing into debris, and honestly, it looks rough, bro. The robed figure is also getting overwhelmed, staggering back from the creature's relentless attacks. But then, a swirling vortex of energy appears, and it starts pulling the creature towards it. The creature is sucked into the vortex, screaming, and everything goes dark. No way this is over yet. Okay, so things are intense. Our boy Kim Dokja is speeding toward the Demon King's castle, tires screeching and everything. He's got only 3 days until the Demon King selection, which is basically a deadly tournament. No big deal. Dokja's chilling in the car, looking all broody, when he starts recalling past encounters. Apparently, a Dokja showed up once, along with some seriously unsettling Woonie men and a bunch of constellations. A woman who looks like she's seen some stuff warns Dokja to be careful. The Demon Realm's big players are watching him closely. She's laying it on thick, saying powerful demons are actively observing his every move. Talk about pressure. The woman continues, and honestly, she's kinda creeping Dokja out with her intense stare and glasses. Dokja tries to keep it cool, but he's clearly stressed about the upcoming selection and all the danger surrounding him. The car is full of sleeping people, including a blonde dude and his dog talk about a weird travel group. Everyone's passed out, but Dokja's still wide awake, stuck in his head and bracing for whatever chaos is coming his way. The driver's straight up losing it, gasping at something, but Dokja is unbothered. This dude is ice cold. The driver blurts out a weird proverb about life not being a walk in the park, and Dokja just responds with it. Suddenly, vroom, the car swerves violently, almost crashing, and the driver is losing control. Dokja tries to play it off, asking about pain, but it's a total setup. He's fishing for info. The driver gives a cryptic answer, but Dokja's not buying it, giving him a serious side-eye. Dokja asks what the driver really meant to ask, and honestly, it's a power move. We get a flashback to a destroyed landscape, the car crash site, and it's bleak to say the least. The driver reveals he poured his heart into whatever happened, but that's unsettling to say the least. Dokja asks if it hurt, and the driver's response is so vague, it's infuriating. What is he hiding? Dokja's already planning his next move. He's got layers, and he's playing this game perfectly. Dokja hesitates to read the second edit of the Apocalypse Guide. He's scared of knowing too much, honestly. He opens it anyway, and the screen fills with options, but he locks on 3 ways to survive. Dokja realizes his entire future might already be decided, and that's terrifying straight up. But the driver, Mayengo, cuts him off, saying that thought was foolish from the start. What a mood killer. Mayengo declares this story hasn't even begun yet, which is a bold claim considering everything. Dokja stares intently at the screen and we get a close-up. The survival guide is reflected in his eye. No way. He's scrolling through the guide and the screen slides with each movement, giving us a glimpse of the options. Dokja's playing it cool, but he's clearly analyzing everything, trying to find a loophole or advantage. Our boy is deep in thought, and the driver's cryptic words are clearly messing with his head. However, Dokja's a master strategist. He's not letting a little existential dread get him down. Dokja reads the third round's outcome. It's the same as before, and nothing changes, which is super frustrating. He wonders if Mayengo is just messing with him, trying to scare him, or if there's a bigger plan at play. Dokja declares he doesn't know what ending they want, but he'll accept whatever comes. That's a bold claim, bro. But Mayengo doesn't respond. He just keeps driving, and Dokja realizes that's exactly the reaction he expected. A notification dings on Dokja's phone, and honestly, the tension is building like crazy right now. Suddenly, the fourth wall breaks. It twitches as if amused, and Dokja sees right through it all. No way. The screen glitches out with a screech, and Dokja's realizing this isn't just a story anymore. It's a game, and he's playing it. Dokja's eyes narrow. He's processing everything, and it's clear he's starting to understand the rules. He's analyzing the situation, trying to figure out what's going on, and honestly, this dude is a genius. However, this whole thing feels off, like someone's pulling the strings, and Dokja's not thrilled about it. Okay, so things are wild. Apparently, a bunch of Dokja Kims are showing up, and only one can claim the name. A hidden scenario drops. Prove you are the real Dokja Kim within 3 hours, or else. The reward, Duke status, and a ton of coins. This dude who thinks he's the one true Dokja Kim starts yelling and immediately tries to assert dominance. But hold up, another guy jumps in, claiming he's the real deal, and it quickly devolves into a chaotic mess. The first guy's all confident, but the other one is straight up kneeling, begging to be recognized as Dokja Kim. Our boy is observing all this, looking smug, and honestly, he's already racking up points from the constellations. A few constellations are vibing with this new Dokja Kim, giving him 20 points. He's making a play for the title. Things escalate fast, with swords clashing and a full-on brawl breaking out between the Dokja Kim contenders. People are asking what's happening, but it's already a total free-for-all with everyone fighting for the name. No way, it's a chaotic scramble, and our boy is just standing there sizing up the competition. This is gonna be good. Okay, so our boy is realizing the other Dokja Kim is actually going for it, causing chaos like he knew the story. No way, this other dude straight up attacks someone, yelling as he swings a sword. It's a bloodbath. Slash, the sword connects and it's brutal, but our boy is unfazed, observing everything with a cool head. He casually declares this as proof and then just stands there with his sword glowing, looking totally epic. The injured guy is down and our boy delivers the line. Impressive. Seriously, the confidence is off the charts. He's racking up points with the constellations, who are clearly interested in this version of Dokja Kim. A woman with a complex hairstyle starts talking about other complexes and agents. Things are getting deeper. Our boy thinks he's starting to see the bigger picture. There are other players involved, other hidden agendas. He realizes some of these Dokja Kims are being used, fed information by sponsors. It's a full-on conspiracy. This dude is planning his next move, ready to expose whatever's really going on. It's about to get real. Someone just attacked Yoongyok, and now our boy is stepping in, looking totally unbothered. Everyone's shocked. They're yelling Yoongyok's name, but our boy is just assessing the situation. He's declaring this as proof and then casually activates his sword, which is glowing bright. The injured guy is down, and our boy drops a cool impressive, racking up points with the constellations. A woman starts rambling about complexes and agents, and our boy realizes this is way bigger than he thought. He figures out other Dokja Kims are being manipulated. It's a full-blown conspiracy, and he's seeing through it. Our boy is formulating a plan, ready to expose the truth, and honestly, it's about time someone did. He's putting on an act pretending to be impressed by Uriel, but internally, he doesn't trust her at all. The constellations are going wild, begging to see more. This dude is playing them all like a fiddle. He's thinking out loud, realizing Uriel is definitely involved and dropping a perfect ha. This is brilliant. He's laying it on thick, saying he just wants to live his own life. It's a total power move. But wait, he immediately undercuts it, admitting he totally said that line for the points. Smooth. Someone just awarded him 300 points, and he's freaking out about other people stealing his thunder. Classic. He's brainstorming, trying to think of something only he and the constellations know, and it's hilarious. He's yelling at whoever's holding him and then starts thinking again. This dude is a whirlwind. He remembers what he likes, kipaos and garter belts. No way, that's so random. He's racking up points again, but someone else is earning even more. This is a competition now. He's completely blanking, straight up admitting he can't think of anything. The pressure is real. But then bam, it hits him and he's realizing something he'd forgot. Our boy is back in the game. He's declaring he'll become the real Dokja, but someone calls him out. That doesn't sound like him at all. He doubles down, saying this is him, and then electricity starts crackling around his hands. What is going on? He's unleashing some crazy electric power, claiming it's a technique from White Storm. It looks intense. He attacks the shadowy figure, and honestly, the electricity is doing some serious damage. But the figure is still standing, and this dude looks genuinely shocked. This isn't going as planned. He's starting to realize something's off with his own actions, and the constellations are clearly confused too. He's trying to justify his behavior, saying he's just trying to act like Dokja, but it's falling flat. He's getting desperate, forcing himself to think and act like the novel's Dokja, and it's super creepy. He's panicking, admitting this isn't him. This whole situation is spiraling out of control. He's fully embracing the electric power, announcing it as electrification. This is a total power-up, but at what cost? He unleashes a massive blast of electric power, sending a guy flying. No way, that felt good. Everyone's stunned. Did somebody use a technique on him? They're asking an honestly good question. He's casually walking away, all cool and collected, but then declares he figured it was about time. This dude isn't acting like himself at all. He's fully embracing this electric persona, and it's unsettling. He's saying this is the real Dokja, but it's clearly a forced act, and the constellations are picking up on it. He's panicking internally, realizing he's lost control, and straight up admits this isn't him anymore. Okay, so things are insane right now. This icy dude is straight up flying at someone, all power and fury. He leaps, and it's not just a jump, it's like a blur of ice and rage, lightning crackling around him. The attack lands, and boom, a huge explosion of ice and debris, sending shockwaves everywhere. Someone's laying there, clearly messed up, and another guy rushes over, yelling if he went too far. Ouch. Our boy explains he didn't have a choice, that he did this to get someone to her, which is intense. The icy dude is still radiating power, and honestly, he looks furious, like a blizzard about to hit. He's summoning some kind of glowing blue shield, and it looks seriously impenetrable, a full-on defense mode. Close up on his face, and dude is not happy, a twisted smile creeping across his lips, eyes glowing blue. He stares down at whoever's on the ground and just says you, like he's about to unleash everything. The scene shifts to a bright blue, and that's our cliffhanger. Talk about a tense moment, no way. Okay, so our boy is seriously injured, but he's healing himself using story fragments. What? He explains it was his plan to get help from someone named Kyojios, but it failed. Major setback. Suddenly, this dude is surrounded by fire, absolutely wrecked and coughing up a storm. It's brutal. He's collapsing amidst the flames, struggling to even breathe. Honestly, it's rough to watch. He admits he's not sure if making this choice was right, but coughs up blood and then declares he won't regret it. Back to our boy, and he looks even worse for wear, but is firm in his decision. This dude is a tank. He starts walking forward straight toward whatever's happening, with his companion in tow. Talk about determination. Our boy is falling forward, but then constellations start acknowledging him as the real Dokja Kim. It's a cascade of acknowledgments. The demonic judge of fire, the prisoner of the golden headband, and even the queen of the darkest spring all recognize him. And just like that, the constellations are all on board, declaring him the real Dokja Kim. What a power move. Okay, so everyone's freaking out. They recognize our boy as the real Dokja Kim. The hidden scenario is complete. No way. He gets a massive reward of 200,000 coins, but that's not even the best part. He straight up inherits the old Jailabat industrial complex. The complex is immediately renamed the Dokja Kim Industrial Complex, and things start glitching like crazy with blue energy everywhere. His fame spreads throughout the demon realm. This dude is becoming a big deal, like seriously influential. And boom, he officially becomes the Duke of a demon realm industrial complex. Our boy is leveling up fast. Someone, a chef apparently, is super upset, but Dokja Kim doesn't even flinch, just stares him down. Dokja Kim tells the chef he did well and knows he tried his best. A surprisingly wholesome moment, honestly. But then the chef starts freaking out, realizing how massive the change in ownership actually is. Dokja Kim is completely unfazed, just standing there calmly as the chef loses it. This dude is ice cold. And that's it, he's officially in charge and everyone knows it. Straight up boss move. Dokja Kim reveals the real problem. It's not just the nebula, but Meladin and Birkin are involved. He's carrying a tiny, crying kid, and bro is clearly exhausted but still focused on the bigger picture. Meladin has allied with the Nebula Vedas. That's a terrifying combo, honestly. In Birkin, he's teamed up with the Nebula Papyrus, meaning things are about to get real complicated. We get a glimpse of the enemy, a huge, ancient Egyptian figure, intimidating as heck. This dude is seriously powerful, radiating this dark, cosmic energy. No way this is going to be easy. The background starts glitching and fracturing, like reality itself is breaking down around them. Everything goes dark, then a cascade of code and text floods the screen. It's overwhelming. But amidst the chaos, Dokja Kim stands firm, the only point of stability in a collapsing world. The entire scene is consumed by glitching code. This is a full-scale system failure, I swear. Okay, so Dokja Kim wants to check his status window. Like a true gamer, he needs the stats. But the fourth wall is actively resisting, glitching and shaking like it's having a seizure. It's not just twitching now, the wall straight up bares its teeth at him. This is getting intense. Then a massive wall of text explodes onto the screen, a chaotic stream of code and data. What is happening? Dokja Kim, though, is unfazed. He's got a plan and he's demanding to know what's going on. He needs to understand the system's reaction, and he's not backing down. Our boy is a strategist. But the fourth wall is still fighting back, refusing to cooperate with his request. Honestly, it's kinda rude. Suddenly, a voice booms. It's the system itself, and it's telling Dokja Kim to just listen. Dokja Kim looks surprised. Whatever the system has to say must be huge, because it's actually cooperating. He's leaning in, focused and ready, as the system finally starts to reveal what's going on. This is the payoff. Dokja Kim is desperate. He needs to see something, anything, or he's convinced he'll die in the dark. He's rambling about needing to check something, and a servant looks super confused, like, what is going on? The system finally spills the tea. It's been monitoring Dokja Kim, and it's figured out he's aware he's in a story. The system explains that Dokja Kim is the only reader who finished the novel, so it's been watching him closely, honestly kinda creepy. But here's the kicker, the system is testing him, seeing if he'll try to break the story and if he's worthy of something big. Sangha straight up walks into the scene and tells Sayang to look well, but it's super passive-aggressive, you can feel it. She's dropping some heavy hints about how if he had listened, everyone would be in the same messed up situation as all the other characters. Sangha greets someone, it's been a while, and immediately asks what they want. She's not here to chat. Sayang snaps back asking if Sangha even cares about her, and honestly, it's a fair question given the tension. We get a close-up of another character and she looks furious. She's clearly not happy with what's going on. Three of them are facing each other, and the atmosphere is thick enough to cut with a knife. This other woman, she's questioning if anyone even believes in the crazy stuff happening around them. She's rattled. She admits she thought she had everything under control, but now realizes she can't rely on herself for everything, which is relatable. Sangha is totally unimpressed, telling the other woman she's not exactly in a position to be calm. Ouch, harsh. She finishes it off by saying it's about time they ran out of cards to play, implying she's been waiting for this moment. So turns out they've been getting future readings, basically peeks at what's gonna happen. All the readings show is if things are good or bad, which is not super helpful, honestly. One of them asks if the others know about these readings, and another one says she's been doing them on Kim Dokja for a while now. Here's the kicker: lately she's been hearing strange rumors through the constellations. Something's up. She says the readings were ominous and the others freak out, demanding to know what that means. Apparently yesterday the readings briefly turned auspicious, but then changed again. This is wild. They're spiraling, questioning if Dokja was tempted by someone, like some kind of deal went down. One of them is straight up losing it, demanding to know what the readings say now. And another one just shouts, "Are you kidding me? The tension is insane right now." They're all convinced something huge is about to happen, and honestly, after everything, who can blame them? One of them hands a glowing green stone to another, saying to check it herself. It's like a fortune-telling device. Suddenly, the stone flashes with intense light and everyone recoils. No way, that's gotta hurt. The stone is swirling with energy, and you can see some kind of writing forming inside. It's getting intense. Close up on the stone and the writing is getting clearer. It looks ancient and kinda ominous, honestly. The stone practically screams, "Great misfortune, bro." That's not a good sign at all. Someone asks if this is real, and another confirms it is, unless Hangik has fallen. That's a heavy statement. Someone else gasps, saying to look, and the stone now displays a single word: aid. What does it mean? They're all huddled around the stone, staring at it with wide eyes. The tension is building, and it's palpable. The stone glows, displaying the word AID again, and it looks like they're starting to understand what's happening. They realize the stone is saying they need to help someone, and honestly, our boy Dokja is probably who they're talking about. Dokja's smirking, and he's clearly figured something out, but what's with the steam coming from his face? Two figures stand beside Dokja, looking seriously concerned, like they're bracing for impact. Dokja's clutching that glowing stone, and it's pulsing with power. This is getting real intense. Suddenly, a blinding light erupts, and Dokja gets blasted back. No way, that looked painful. Dokja demands to know why whoever is responsible won't show themselves yet. He's not messing around. A massive horned figure appears and shouts, "Bihyum, what the heck is going on?" The horned figure floats down, radiating energy, and straight up asks Dokja how he figured it out. Someone asks about the Korean Peninsula Channel, but another interrupts, revealing they've been demoted. This dude's all, "Guess things don't run so well without me, huh? Talk about arrogant." The horned figure asks why they haven't come back yet, implying they already knew this would happen. Dokja admits he no longer hates Bihyum, realizing he's not so different from the Dokibus himself. Whoa, deep. He explains the Dokibus are an organization considered one of the most dangerous in existence, and things get tense. Bihyum doesn't seem surprised Dokja figured it out, but straight up says he didn't expect a yes. This dude is confident. Bihyum proposes a joint channel, even if it's only within the demon realm, and Dokja is clearly considering it. Dokja asks Bihyum to think about it, but Bihyum's all in. He agrees, but then Bihyum snaps his fingers and a piece of Dokja's mask breaks off. No way, what did he do? Bihyum's power is surging, and he's clearly messing with Dokja's mind. Dokja tries to understand what's going on, but Bihyum is tight-lipped. Bihyum says he's only revealing things because he wants Dokja to help. It's a calculated move. Dokja's lost in thought, and it's clear he's piecing everything together. This is gonna be huge. Dokja unleashes a massive flash of energy. It's a straight-up power move to show Bihyum he means business. Everyone's questioning why Dokja is being so agreeable, but the constellations are seriously unhappy about this whole situation. He taps his hand, demanding to see his attribute window. Our boy is about to check his stats and plan his next move. Dokja wants to know what's going on, but Bihyum's keeping his cards close to his chest, as always. Bihyum claims he's being honest for Dokja's sake, but honestly, this feels like a massive manipulation. Okay, so Dokja Kim is getting a boost in understanding a character, which is weird even for this story. He's immediately confused, like, wait, what's happening? And honestly, same energy. This dude is freaking out, sweat dripping everywhere because something big is clearly about to go down. Someone, we don't know who yet, tells him he shouldn't have looked for so long, and that's never a good sign. Everything goes white like a system overload, and it's seriously intense. The screen starts cracking and a word begins forming in the chaos: Creek, but it's all messed up. Creek keeps building, glitching even harder, and it's a total visual assault. No way. The word finally resolves and we see Creek in full, but it's still distorted and terrifying. The screen completely shatters and our boy Dokja is straight up in the middle of a system breakdown. Okay, so Dokja's getting thrown around and Yusung's desperately trying to hold on to him. It's chaos. Someone yells hey, but honestly it's too late, everything's already exploding. Castle around them is getting demolished like a total disaster zone and everyone's freaking out. A message pops up saying Dokja's fourth wall skill is activating, which is a new one even for this story. Dokja's clearly in pain and Yusung is asking what happened, but nobody has any answers. Someone saw lightning strike and says Dokja was already on the ground. Super ominous, right? Dokja explains it wasn't just lightning, it was like breaking plausibility and the sparks were insane. He's still clutching Yusung, trying to figure out what's going on, but Yusung's asking if he's okay. It seems like whatever happened overloaded Dokja's system, and his ability to see the future is glitching. Dokja's struggling to process everything, but he's holding on tight to Yusung, and honestly, it's a good look. Dokja suddenly realizes he's not just reading the story, he is a character in it, no way. His reading comprehension skill kicks in, and he remembers seeing Min Seob-young and Seong-guk Lee before. He recalls seeing a few people, but it clicks, they were all characters from the novel, bro. Dokja pulls up Min Seob-young's profile, a level 25 swordsman with some seriously impressive stats. Next, he checks Seong-guk Lee, another level 25 character who's a hypnotist. This dude is dangerous. Dokja pieces it together. These guys came from the original novel, but somehow ended up inside the story too. He's reeling, trying to understand how this is happening, but his attributes window is going crazy. But wait, a new message pops up. The fourth wall is actually glaring at him. Seriously. Dokja's completely overwhelmed and his shadow looks different, like something's possessing him. He bends over, clutching his coat, and you can tell this revelation is hitting him hard. It's intense. Dokja gets a notification, a new story unlocked, titled The One Who Gazed into the Abyss. What? He obtains the story, but the great information is unavailable, which is seriously unsettling. Suddenly, a flood of reverse text appears, and Dokja is clearly freaking out. This is too much. The title of the story flashes before his eyes, and Yusung asks what's happening, but Dokja is lost in thought. Dokja wonders why he got this story and when, realizing someone else had it in the original novel. He's connecting the dots. What's the link between this story and the message saying he's a character? Dokja questions if he's become a character in the story now or if he's still just a reader. The suspense is killing us. He's spiraling, asking himself, am I? This dude is having a full-on existential crisis. Dokja realizes he's in the story now, but it's not a happy realization. He's genuinely scared. But wait, he's remembering the original novel, and it's even more complicated than we thought. He stares intensely at Yusung, fixating on his eyes, and thinks about how transparent they are. It's kinda creepy, TBH. Dokja wishes he could read himself as easily as he reads Yusung's expression, which is like a major mood. But wait, he's struck by a thought. What if he used the Omniscient Readers Viewpoint on himself? No way. He's diving deep into his own psyche, admitting there's something inside him he doesn't understand. Serious introspection happening. Dokja questions if this hidden part of himself was written into him by the author, or if it developed as the world changed. However, he knows he needs to figure it out no matter how long it takes. Our boy is determined, and we love to see it. He clenches his fist, a determined look on his face, and vows to unravel this mystery. Dokja's lost in thought, and honestly, the intensity of his focus is giving me chills. He's completely consumed by the unknown, and you can tell this internal battle is going to be epic. Byung just shows up out of nowhere, straight up teleporting in front of Dokja and Yusung. Dokja's all like what's going on, and explains he saw a weird probability shift, so he rushed over. Byung admits he was watching Dokja this whole time, and Yusung is not impressed with this sneakiness. Byung tries to play it cool, claiming he just forgot to tell Dokja something. Yeah, right. Dokja demands to know what he forgot, and Yusung is visibly confused, questioning what's happening. Byung drops a bomb. The Demon King selection is becoming a huge event, and everyone's fighting over broadcast rights. But here's the kicker, he's not the only Dokja sent to the Demon Realm, and that's a problem. There's another Dokja on the opposing side, and this one holds a serious grudge against them. Dokja looks intense, and you can tell this new revelation is throwing a wrench into everything. Okay, so this demon is straight up menacing, flashing those fangs and looking ready to rumble. He's laughing, saying they know nothing, and the tension is building with all this lightning. It's intense. No way someone just gets absolutely crushed, and the sound effect is huge. Crack, it's brutal. Another crack, and it's clear this dude is delivering some serious pain, crushing someone's hand. This demon is laying down some serious philosophy, talking about the kinds of evil beings in the world. He explains the first kind brings misfortune to others, and honestly, it sounds like he's describing himself right now. Then he drops the second kind, those who enjoy seeing others suffer, and it's a seriously creepy vibe. He admits he's acting confident, but then reveals he's never fought a Winnie man before, which is weird. The demon is still rambling about evil, but it's interrupted by this massive, glowing hand. And the glowing hand is coming down fast. It looks like this dude is about to get a lesson in power. Okay, so the demon starts using some kind of colossal story ability. It's a huge power-up, apparently. But it's not going smoothly. The system windows are glitching like crazy, and it looks painful for him. He's realizing this power is beyond even the strongest demons. Only the highest ranked can mess with the system like this. This dude is straight up freaking out, realizing he's in over his head. This is bad, is an understatement. The activation bar is climbing, and everything is cracking and glitching. It's intense and chaotic. The system is falling apart around him, and he's twitching like crazy, clearly struggling to control it. He's admitting it was a mistake to come here alone, and honestly, he totally should have known better. But it's too late. His eye is glowing red, and he's about to unleash something terrifying. His face is contorting, and he lets out this massive, distorted roar, grrrrrgk. It's horrifying. This dude is about to unleash a serious beatdown. This power-up is changing him completely. Okay, so the demon's power is surging, and it's messing with the system. It's like his species is a weakness against these Winnie men. He's getting tossed around like a rag doll, and a little panda dude is somehow flying through the chaos. No way. The system is screaming that his resistance is dropping, and the demon is taking a serious beating, blood flying everywhere. This dude is straight up furious, yelling and straining against whatever's holding him. It's intense. Another system message pops up, saying the Winnie men are drastically reducing his combat power. Talk about a bad matchup. He curses, realizing the seniors knew about this weakness, and honestly, he should have asked questions sooner. Now the demon is unleashing a terrifying threat, promising a slow and agonizing death while everyone watches. But someone is falling from the sky, a mysterious figure, and they're looking pretty wrecked, to be honest. He's panicking, saying he's gonna get squeezed to death and needs to contact the management center. Classic. Our boy is clearly in trouble, but he's trying to play it cool, saying he's getting quite the story today. Okay, so our boy is unleashing this insane power, and the system is going wild. Demonic judge of fire. He's diving down, a black blur, sword extended, straight up aiming for the demon, but something's in his way. Whoa, that white-haired dude is getting absolutely blasted by the force of his attack, sent flying backwards. The demon is huge, towering over everything, and it's roaring, but this dude isn't even flinching. He's landing, sword planted, and looking down at the demon, who's now on the ground, completely wrecked. The demon is sputtering, trying to figure out what just happened, but our boy is all business, telling him to back off. But wait, the demon's getting up, and he's straight up terrifying with these crazy teeth and eyes. Everything's going dark, blood splattering everywhere. It's a total mess, and our boy is getting covered. He's standing his ground, though, even with the chaos, looking determined and ready for round 2. The demon is still struggling, groaning, but our boy is already moving on, looking for the next fight. No chill. The demon's rambling about a puppet of the oldest dream. Sounds like some serious backstory is dropping. But hold up, the demon doesn't even recognize our boy and is straight up laughing at him. This dude is all hand over Yusion and stomps his foot like he's asserting dominance. It's kind of funny. No way, the demon's eye just opens and it's glowing gold, totally creepy and intense. The demon lunges and our boy barely dodges but gets a face full of something gross. He's wiping it off, looking furious, but the demon's already attacking again, claws swinging. Oh snap, our boy manages to slash the demon, sending a spray of blood. This fight is getting brutal. The demon is reeling, claiming this has nothing to do with our boy. What a weird thing to say. But it's a trap. The demon was playing possum and suddenly lunges again, grabbing our boy's hand. Seriously, the demon's teeth are sinking in and our boy is looking completely shocked. This is bad, really bad. The demon's yelling at our boy, saying having the channel won't do him any good. Talk about rude. But wait, there's this adorable fluffy creature trapped in a cage, and it's bawling its eyes out, so sad. The demon suddenly changes his tune, straight up demanding to know why anyone would want her, claiming she's valuable. He's spouting nonsense, but it's clear this little fluffball is important, and our boy is definitely protecting her. Constellation, demonic judge of fire, is straight up smiling, which is never a good sign ever. Someone's got things handled though. A mysterious figure is taking care of business somewhere nearby. Uriel is revealed as the one who summoned Jung Haeok. Talk about a twist our boy didn't see coming. They're teleported to a destroyed city, and honestly, things look bleak as heck right now. Our boy and the blonde dude are assessing the damage, but it's clear this place has seen better days. Suddenly, the city starts shaking like crazy. No way is it another attack. A massive, glowing orb of energy forms in the distance, and it's growing bigger by the second. The blonde dude points out that some constellations clearly couldn't wait any longer. Talk about impatience. But there are still hours before the demon selection begins, so they're not out of the woods yet. He was planning to drag things out a bit more, but looks like someone else has other plans, bro. Dokja announces a new sub-scenario, a preliminary battle, and everyone gets a notification, naturally. The conditions are simple: defend or steal story nuclei, but the rewards are huge: qualification for the Demon King selection. Some constellations are already complaining that Dokja is being unfair with this scenario, and our boy's smirking. He sees a loophole. He admits the scenario isn't perfectly fair, revealing the attackers and defenders have wildly different numbers and stats. But Dokja isn't done yet. For this sub-scenario only, all constellations get equal stats. What a twist. And it doesn't stop there. All stats are locked, meaning no one can get stronger during the battle. This is wild. Dokja snaps his fingers, straight up resetting the playing field. This dude is a chaos agent. He's making sure everyone has an equal chance, even if it means throwing all previous advantages out the window. Dokja figures the attackers must have received the same penalty as everyone else, but then a red-eyed monster bursts out of nowhere. A shadowy figure yells at Dokja, telling him not to act so defeated, reminding him harder scenarios are more fun. Dokja's suddenly the owner of the Dokja industrial complex. No way, and that red monster is staring right at him. The monster's got fangs and a seriously menacing grin, and Dokja looks concerned, to say the least. He's standing on crumbling rocks with the blonde guy, and honestly, this situation looks precarious. The blonde dude is freaking out, but Dokja just stares forward, calm as can be. This guy is built different. Crowd of constellations recognizes Dokja, shouting his name and the Duke. He's a big deal, apparently. Dokja finally speaks, saying it's nice to meet them in person, and asks everyone to listen carefully. He's demanding their attention, and the crowd seems intrigued, though a little nervous to say the least. Dokja is straight up owning the moment, looking down at everyone with a serious expression. This is gonna be good. Dokja tells everyone he absolutely cannot protect them, and the blonde guy is losing it. Total panic mode. He urges them to leave and find a way to survive, warning them staying means certain death. An older man steps forward, recommending the Unyokyu industrial complex as a safe haven. Dokja murmurs to himself that there won't be any unnecessary casualties in this scenario. A promise, maybe. A system message pops up: liberate the people from the complex. Dokja answers with a resounding why yes. He's looking down at a massive crowd, and the system confirms the people are now free to choose a complex. The people of the Dokja Kim industrial complex get the escape scenario. Huge win for them. And then, boom, Dokja obtains a new legendary story, Liberator of the Complex. This dude is leveling up fast. He's officially the Liberator now, and the crowd is starting to realize our boy is a serious force to be reckoned with. But honestly, the scene is a little unsettling. All those people looking up to him. It's intense. Dokja promises to hold back the enemies so everyone can escape. Total hero move, honestly. He's scanning the area and senses 4 immense energies. Something big is about to go down. A shadowy monster appears and it's radiating power. No way, this is good. The people Dokja saved are praising his sacrifice, calling it noble. They really look up to him. But wait, a weird horned creature pops up beside Dokja and it's giving him a thumbs up. What is happening? Dokja extends his hand, seemingly stopping someone from rushing forward. He's taking charge. Blonde guy tries to protest, but Dokja is adamant. They need to get out of there now. He declares he's the one the enemies are after and straight up leaps off the balcony. Talk about a dramatic exit. Dokja jumps and the platform crumbles behind him. This dude is risking everything. He shouts that he's the one they want, making a desperate gamble to protect everyone. Dokja's grabbing that glowing blue sphere. It's pulsing with energy and it looks intense. He's using the sphere to stabilize the factory, but it's clearly straining the whole place. The structure starts cracking and falling apart. It's a total mess, but Dokja's holding it together. But the factory is failing fast, and the whole thing is beginning to shut down. Everything's crumbling around him, and honestly, it's kinda terrifying. This is a disaster. Factory's completely falling apart, and it's all happening so fast, bro. We get a system notification. The factory is shutting down, no turning back now. Everything whirls around him as the factory collapses. Dokja's really going all out. Okay, so things are wild. This dude, Kim Dokja, is suddenly designated as the arbitrary distorter and is straight up hunting for someone to mess with. He's moving fast, cracking the ground with every step. It's like a speedrun gone crazy, but with way more destruction. But hold up, the constellations are already involved, and a massive dog spirit is basically setting a trap with flames. Dokja's dodging this insane energy, but a huge shadow monster is looming over him. Things are getting intense, real fast. The constellations are all talking smack, with a snake boss glaring and a rat fixated on Dokja's fingernails. Seriously. The dog constellation is throwing itself into the flames just to see how the others react. Talk about extra. This beast is demanding Dokja hand over the story nucleus, but our boy isn't backing down without a fight. Dokja asks what happens if he refuses, and the constellations are visibly curious about his next move. However, they quickly realize someone is missing. Only 3 constellations are present, and they're starting to panic. Another constellation, a prisoner, is watching Dokja closely, eager to see how this battle unfolds, which is unsettling. Dokja declares the 3 constellations before him are equal to his power. Talk about confidence. He leaps forward, unleashing a blade of energy, and the dog constellation tries to intercept. Dokja's foot connects with the ground, cracking the stone. This dude is putting down some serious force. The dog constellation unleashes a wave of green energy, but Dokja slices right through it. Dokja keeps leaping and the green energy explodes outwards, engulfing everything. He's slicing and dicing through the energy, but the dog constellation is still standing. It's a clash of wills. Dog constellation's eye is locked on Dokja, and it's seriously creepy, bro. Dokja swings again, and the dog constellation barely manages to block. This fight is intense. But the dog constellation retaliates, sending Dokja flying with a powerful attack. Dokja crashes down, groaning in pain, but straight up refuses to stay down. Our boy is tough. No way, a massive fiery phoenix explodes into being right above them. It's insane. Dokja gets bombarded with notifications, gaining the ability to view profiles of weaker constellations. He's checking out profiles of Nouveau Rich Snake Boss, Nay Leading Rat, and even the dog constellation. But the phoenix isn't just for show. It unleashes a blinding wave of fire, engulfing the entire city. Buildings are crumbling, flames are everywhere, and it's total chaos. Straight up apocalyptic. Dokja's getting blasted with energy, but he's holding his ground. Our boy is seriously durable. He's being pushed back, cracking the floor with each step, but refuses to fall. The system announces that the story lists of selected constellations will now appear randomly. Dokja devoured another story. What does that even mean? This is getting wilder by the second. He's still standing amidst the destruction, taking a beating, but his eyes are locked on his enemies. Dokja confidently states they don't have the story, knowing he's one step ahead. This dude is playing chess. The dog constellation straight up squeezes Dokja, and its brutal bones are cracking. It's intense. Golden ring descends, and the dog demands the story nucleus. What even is that? Dokja coughs up blood, but he's not going down without a fight, pushing through the pain like a champ. System notifications pop up. Constellations love violent stories and want to see him broken, seriously creepy. Dokja asks what story the dog is trying to create with all this desperation. A mind game. More cracking sounds as the dog continues its assault, and honestly, it's terrifying. A massive glowing beast emerges, a lion with flames engulfing it. No way is this good. Dokja smirks, asking how the dog could possibly have a story when he's only fought weaker opponents. But the dog's face twists into a grin. This is a trap, and Dokja is walking right into it. This story isn't about making Dokja stronger, it's about unlocking the potential of stories themselves. Wild. Instead of power-ups, the story is going to change other stories, and the dog constellation realizes this, freaking out. System notifications announce the distortion of the arbitrary distorter. Whatever that is, it sounds bad. We cut to a figure submerged in water, and it's the king himself starting to speak. Bro is about to lay down some truth. He was born rejecting any claim to the throne, and now he stands above all those who aren't kings. Talk about a glow-up. The king grabs at something unseen, and the word grab flashes across the screen. It's intense, like he's seizing control. His hand closes around something, and honestly, this whole scene is giving me chills. Dokja's straight up launching himself forward, ignoring the carnage around him. This dude is fearless. He declares their stories hold the same status as his, and a few constellations are actually impressed. That's a power move. The Northern Dipper constellations turn their attention to Dokja, but Nay-leading Rat is already trying to bounce. Dokja lands amidst the wreckage, and it's brutal blood and shattered pieces everywhere, no joke. He flashes back, remembering his past. It's all about being the only one who finished the novel. Wild. Dokja realizes the monster's story is connected to his, but it's not about power, it's about rewriting stories. The beast roars and Dokja's eyes glow. He's ready to face whatever comes next, and honestly, good for him. With a flash, Dokja's story seems to surge, and the constellations are watching. This is about to get insane. Okay, so things are intense. Our boy is riding a massive golden lion-like creature, straight up flying through the air. He barks orders at the beast, demanding to be taken to the Yongyokyu industrial complex, whatever that is. The beast is moving, bro, like a rocket, tearing through everything in its path and leaving destruction behind. They finish the preliminary battle and the system announces it, but honestly, the real fight is just beginning. They successfully protected the story nucleus, whatever that means, and now things are getting wild. All the constellations that were chasing them suddenly retreat. No way, they actually back down. A few constellations are seriously disappointed they couldn't catch him, and the prisoner of the golden headband yawns. Constellations are reacting to this dude's clever tactics, and honestly, it's about time someone recognized his genius. He's getting rewarded with coins, a whopping 200,000 for surviving this insane ordeal, which is pretty sweet. But wait, this isn't over. The industrial complex looks like a total wasteland, and the real battle is about to begin. The lion, who is apparently named Gold, is totally confused when our boy tells him he can leave. Gold whines like a big, fluffy puppy and refuses to go anywhere without him. A constellation is observing, feeling pity for Gold, who's being a total clingy mess. Flashback time, Gold saved this dude's master from a fire, soaking himself to put it out. Master was a total drunk, but Gold was loyal, a real good boy, honestly. Our boy is stunned, realizing Gold's devotion runs deep, and he's silently processing this. Gold asks if he's going to follow, whining again, and our boy just stares. It's awkward. Gold lets out a little arf and nudges him, and this dude finally cracks a small smile. Gold is now happily trotting beside him, and it's the cutest, most unexpected bodyguard ever. Our boy's got a loyal, fireproof golden dog, and he's ready to face whatever's next. Bring it on. Everyone's asking if our boy is okay, but he's more concerned about the dog. It's kinda sweet. They're all confused why he's hauling around a dog in the middle of a disaster zone, but he casually explains he just picked him up. The others are busy rescuing people, and this dude is adopting pets. Priorities, am I right? Someone finally asks the dog's name, and our boy doesn't have one. Awkward. He names the dog, and a notification pops up. This isn't just any dog, it's a constellation. No way. Apparently, this fluffy boy threw himself into flames for someone, and his loyalty is through the roof. Gold is so happy to have a name, he's practically glowing. It's a little over the top, but adorable. One of the rescuers points out how happy the dog is, and our boy realizes he should have chosen a better name. Gold nips at his hand, and our boy is genuinely surprised. This dog is all in, bro. Suddenly, a bright light flashes in the sky. Something big is happening, and it feels like a turning point. Okay, so the guy in charge smirks. Something is about to go down, and he clearly knows it. Whoa, hold up, tons of constellations and demon kings are entering the channel all at once. It's a full-on invasion. Constellations are watching our boy, including the queen of the darkest spring and the god of alcohol. Talk about pressure. But here's the kicker, the system says he's lost status points for skipping scenarios. Seriously, he's been getting away with it for 20 scenarios. He's annoyed he's losing points, but admits it was inevitable. This dude is surprisingly chill under pressure. The main scenario, Demon King selection, is starting now, and the difficulty is unknown, ominous much. They need to form a team and win on a mythic battlefield, but there's no time limit. That's definitely a trick. The system announces they need helpers with mutual agreement, which is weirdly specific. It's like a dating app for heroes. It's been a while since he's seen a scenario with death as the penalty, and our boy is not happy about it. If he loses here, it's game over, straight up. He's definitely feeling the heat now. He declares he's dying, but then Constellation starts straight up hating on him. Talk about bad timing. His eyes widen as he senses a powerful presence closing in, coming from both the north and the west. But our boy isn't backing down. He thanks the constellations for their patience, like a total boss. Suddenly, a blinding light erupts and a ridiculously cute but menacing skeleton appears, ready to rumble. The skeleton's got a fiery aura, and this dude is definitely the main event. No way is this a coincidence. He's thanking Mass Producer for setting the stage, and honestly, it's a little creepy how much he loves this. People in the crowd notice Biome's return, and they're all talking. Seems like everyone knows who he is. Skeleton raises its arms, preparing to unleash something massive, and the energy is insane. He's officially declaring the start of the main scenario, and this whole thing feels like a trap. However, the skeleton's eyes glow red, and it's clear this isn't just a show. This is serious. The game Mythic Battlefield is loading, and this dude is already bracing for impact. It's Demon King selection time. A holographic map appears, dividing the battlefield into north, south, east, and west, and it's straight up massive. He explains this won't be a normal battle, and each complex will form a team. Talk about high stakes. The rules are simple, 7-person teams, each with a unique rule to play in the scenario, but bro, it's complicated. He's laying out the plan, and the other members are listening intently, but something feels off about this whole setup. A hulking figure stands ready, and 2 more fighters appear. This is getting real, and our boy is taking notes. However, it's not just about power. Each member needs to fulfill a specific function, and that's where things get tricky. He's thinking about the team's strategy, and it's clear this Demon King selection is way more than just a fight. Okay, so things are intense. A system message pops up saying multiple constellations are avoiding our boy's gaze. That's never good. The Demon King of Salvation is scoping out the other constellations, and the Queen of the Darkest Spring is giving off seriously creepy vibes. The bald army general is just polishing his helmet, seriously, and Mass Producer is whining about back pain. Priorities, man. Then this dude Hae-young asks what the god of naval warfare said, and our boy drops a bomb. Nothing at all. We get a system message from main scenario #25, Demon King selection. The difficulty is unknown. That's terrifying. The clear conditions are to team up and win on a mythic battlefield, but the reward is actually becoming the Demon King, and the penalty for failure is death. He says if it comes to it, he'll settle for the second best option. Bro is already strategizing, and honestly, I love it. The bald army general looks at him and nods like he approves of this level of ruthlessness. This is getting real. And then the constellations avert their gaze again, straight up acknowledging how dangerous this dude is. No way. Our boy is giving off major don't mess with me energy, and honestly, I'm here for it. This Demon King selection is about to be wild. Okay, so our boy is laying out his options. He needs helpers for this Demon King thing. The system starts listing who other complexes have assigned as helpers, and it's a bunch of heavy hitters. He asks about Uriel and then Great Sage, straight up calling them out by name. But then the system reveals the constellation, prisoner of the golden headband, is picking his nose. Seriously. Next up is the abyssal black flame dragon who's snickering at him. Rude. Hae-young asks if they should consider the dragon, but someone immediately shuts that down. Apparently the dragon is nicer than everyone thinks, which is unexpected. Our boy decides he only has one choice left, and he looks seriously determined. Leans in close, and it's clear he's about to make a bold move. The bald army general wants to know who it is, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Okay, so our boy is sending a message to this secretive plotter character. It's a super shady move. Hae-young and the others are immediately suspicious, questioning what's going on and why he's even contacting them. The system is throwing up warnings, saying constellations are taking back their support because of this choice. What is happening? Someone named Dokja nods, clearly committed to whatever he's doing, despite the warnings piling up. He starts typing furiously, and the system warns that constellations are now fearful of his decision. Intense. But the system is throwing more red flags. Several constellations are begging him to reconsider, like, seriously reconsider. Hae-young is freaking out, asking if he's sure about the modifier he's using, and this dude just asks why, so cryptic. The system then drops the bomb. The modifier he entered doesn't even exist in the star stream. No way. Hae-young is losing it, demanding to know if he entered it correctly, and honestly, good question. Our boy is completely unfazed, and the system confirms that, yeah, the modifier isn't in the database. This is getting wild. Okay, so Dokja is clearly thinking hard. He's wondering what his next move should be, and the constellations are watching. The constellations are straight up asking about this secretive plotter, and the Master of Skywalking is activating some kind of network. The bald army general is not happy. He rises from his seat, roaring with fury, and the tension is insane. He's starting to crack under the pressure, looking super stressed, and there's only 40 seconds left on the clock. The constellations are now focusing on Great Monk Samyeon, and Dokja is walking toward him, a plan forming. Suddenly, a voice booms out. Someone is asking for help, but it's distorted and glitching like crazy. Whatever's happening is causing cracks to appear everywhere, and the scene is a total mess of broken visuals. The bald army general is summoning his incarnation, gaining plausibility, and the power radiating off him is unreal. We get a glimpse of the incarnation. It's a massive figure, and it looks absolutely terrifying. The incarnation is fully revealed, a giant armored monk, and honestly, this is about to get intense. Dokja has recruited all the helpers, every single one. The system is going wild with notifications. But the moment the recruitment ends, the scene glitches out, and the bald army general is losing it. The monk's incarnation is fully formed, and it's huge, towering over everyone, honestly. The monk is now using his power, and a massive, glowing hand appears, reaching for Dokja. Dokja anticipates it, though, and starts to move, seemingly trying to dodge the attack. But the hand isn't just attacking, it's shattering everything around them, creating a chaotic mess. The scene is completely broken, visuals glitching and tearing apart as the monk's power surges. Suddenly, letters start forming from the shattered pieces. Huge, distorted characters appear in the air. The letters spell out void, and they're radiating an insane amount of energy, a really bad sign. Dokja is bracing himself, facing the void letters, and this dude is about to go head-to-head with Oblivion. No way, Dokja just gets thrown into a brand new battlefield, Armageddon. It's a total system reset. He arrives at this ancient, ornate gate, and the system drops a bomb. He's facing Constellation Guardian of Youth and Travel. But wait, there's more. The system announces the game starts in 3 minutes, and the arena is a fiery, chaotic mess. Straight up, this Demon King is pissed at the Constellation Guardian, shows serious hostility, and the tension is insane. Things escalate fast, the monk's armor cracks, and he's unleashing some serious power, like reality-breaking levels. And Dokja, he's right in the crossfire, bracing for impact as the monk's power surges all around him. Okay, so things are intense. Everyone's running, and this bald dude is leading the charge, cape flowing and all. He yells, "Let's go," and straight up sprints, but someone's calling out, begging him to wait a sec. This dude's moving fast, cracking the ground with every step. It's like a super speed thing happening. Suddenly, a message pops up. The game has begun. No way, they're really doing this now. Everything starts shattering around them like reality itself is breaking. It's a total mess of red cracks. But wait, there's more. The system announces stats will adjust based on the game's difficulty, so everyone's power is changing. Then another announcement drops. They can only use 10% of their abilities in this first round. Seriously. They reach this ancient, crumbling gate, and honestly, it looks like something out of a forgotten ruin. There's a tiny sprout growing amidst the rubble, which is a weird detail, but okay. And then support units get generated. These angelic figures appear, ready to back up each team. This is getting wild. Okay, so the dog is going wild, barking at the angel and trying to bite him. It's chaotic. Our boy yells at the dog to stop, but then immediately shouts for the great monk to wait, like seriously. Someone's telling Mr. Hen to stay back and not do anything unnecessary, but this dude never listens. The blonde angel is freaking out, eyes wide, looking totally terrified. Something's definitely wrong. We get a close-up of someone tightening their grip on something, and the background is all fiery red, ominous. Everyone's running through this field with that crazy red sky looming over them. It's a straight-up chase scene. Suddenly, a massive, shadowy figure with wings appears in the forest, and it looks angry. The system announces there's a fallen seraph in the forest. No wonder everyone's on edge. And honestly, the forest is packed with these creepy, shadowy figures. This is a full-blown ambush. The system is saying there are more monsters nearby, but of course there are. This is getting intense. Someone's yelling at the great monk, telling him to slow down, but of course he doesn't listen. The monk straight up declares he's fought more battles than anyone can imagine. Total confidence. He's moving so fast, his robe is trailing behind him like a blur. It's a speed demon. The monk shouts for someone to lend him their strength, and honestly, it's a little creepy. Close up on his face, this dude is serious, eyes locked on something we can't see yet. Something whizzes past the trees, a black streak cutting through the forest. What is that? The monk is charging forward, looking totally determined. He's not backing down from anything. He's leaping into action, ready to face whatever's coming, but it's a total unknown right now. But wait, the forest is full of shadowy figures. It's a trap, and the monk is running right into it. The monk is getting swarmed by these shadowy figures, but he's not even phased. Total pro. He yells at whoever's coming to fight, declaring himself the protector of his homeland. Big talk. Suddenly, a massive winged creature descends, and honestly, it looks terrifying. This is escalating. The monk launches himself at the creature, staff raised, ready to take it down, but it's huge. He swings his staff, creating a massive blast of energy, sending a shockwave through the forest. The monk is moving so fast, it's a blur, dodging attacks and weaving through the trees. Insane speed. He's unleashing a flurry of attacks, but the creature is deflecting them easily. It's a tough fight. Creature swipes at the monk, sending him flying. Ouch, that had to hurt, but he's getting back up. The monk is unleashing another blast, this one even bigger than before. He's going all out. But the creature isn't backing down, it's countering with its own attack, and things are about to explode. No way, the monk just got clapped by that beast, straight up floored and sparking with electricity. But hold up, it's not the monk who's down for the count, it's another helper. This dude's getting wrecked. The Vanara helper is demolishing the bald army general. Total domination, and the system is recognizing it. The Melian complex is gaining points, and a casualty has already occurred. Things are getting serious fast. The monk is reeling, clutching his teeth, but he's not backing down. He's gritting through the pain. He's screaming for everyone to run, and honestly, they should probably listen. This fight is escalating. Vanara helper is absolutely tearing through the battlefield, and this dude is getting stronger with every hit. However, the monk isn't giving up. He's summoning every ounce of power to get back in the fight. But the creature just swatted him away like a fly. Ouch, that's gotta sting, bro, seriously. This is a disaster. Everyone is panicking and scattering, and our boy is trying to hold on. The monk is trying to regain control, but the beast is relentless, slamming him again and again. No way, the monk's helper is getting absolutely demolished, and the system is racking up points for the enemy. But wait, someone shouts that they told him to leave it. This dude clearly knew something was up. The beast is unleashing a massive attack, and our boy is caught right in the blast zone. He's getting thrown around like a rag doll, straight up pummeled by the creature's sheer power. This is brutal, the monk is barely conscious, and the Vanara helper is still rampaging through the ranks. However, someone just got absolutely flattened, and the ground is shaking from the impact. Our boy is desperately trying to survive, but the beast is closing in for another attack. It's not looking good. The Vanara helper lands a final blow, and honestly, this is a total beatdown, leaving everyone reeling. Okay, so this demon king of salvation is straight up mocking our boy Kim Dokja, thinking he's no threat. The constellation is sending messages directly to Dokja, telling him to shut up and get lost. Real rude, honestly. Dokja just smirks, eyes glowing, and the scene explodes with energy, but the demon king doesn't seem fazed. Demon king is all like, let's see how long you can keep that up, and launches a massive attack. It's a red-haired dude, is unleashing a fiery blast, but it gets intercepted by a swirling energy shield. That energy shield is seriously powerful, deflecting the attack and sending green energy flying back at the guy. The red-haired dude gets blasted backwards, straight into a raging inferno. Ouch, that looks rough. He's trying to use his fire powers, but it's barely making a dent against the spreading flames, no way. A massive beast appears, seemingly protecting the guy, but it's getting caught in the crossfire too. Everything is crashing and burning, a total chaotic mess, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Dokja is buying time, gritting his teeth and clutching something, saying they just need a little more. That red-haired dude is getting absolutely blasted by the flames, but a giant beast tries to protect him. The beast is failing miserably, and the red-haired guy yells they need more time, but it feels hopeless. Suddenly, a massive figure descends from above. It's someone else trying to help. The area is totally engulfed in fire and debris, and they're getting overwhelmed by the chaos. We get a shot of Dokja hiding amongst the vines, looking exhausted but determined. Our boy's holding on. The red-haired dude and his allies are falling through the air, clearly getting wrecked by the flames. Dokja's eyes narrow, and he's got a plan brewing. He's about to make a move, you can feel it. He reaches out, grabbing someone's arm, and a bright blue energy surges around them. What's happening? Dokja shouts run, and a massive force pushes everyone forward, trying to escape the inferno. Dokja's pushing them all forward, but the giant bird, thunder-devouring bird, takes a hit. We get a close-up of Dokja's eye. It's glowing with some serious power, no way. The thunder-devouring bird is getting absolutely demolished, feathers flying everywhere. It's a brutal scene. The bird is falling apart, covered in blood, but still trying to fight. System message pops up. The thunder-devouring bird is dead, straight up killed. Dokja is devastated, looking down at the fading bird, but he needs to stay focused. The red-haired dude is plummeting, surrounded by debris and weight. Is that blood raining down? More feathers are falling, and the scene is just pure chaos. It's a total mess. Suddenly, a mysterious figure appears, arms outstretched, channeling energy. Who is this? This dude's got a serious look on his face, electricity crackling around him. He's about to intervene. This dude, Constellation, is straight up losing it as Dokja unleashes a devastating attack. He's screaming. Dokja's moving so fast, protecting Yujin and Hyunsung, but the energy blasts are everywhere. He's stomping down on these spikes, and honestly, it looks painful, but he doesn't even flinch. The attack hits the red-haired guy, and the system message confirms. Constellation is shocked he got hit. Yujin's getting tossed around, and Hyunsung looks terrified, but Dokja is holding strong, shielding them. Hyunsung is seriously hurt, clutching his chest. This is bad, really bad. Dokja's face is obscured, but you can feel the intensity, like he's about to unleash everything he's got. He's channeling this insane power, a massive red aura building around him. It's overwhelming. The energy explodes outwards, creating a swirling vortex of destruction, and Constellation is caught in it. Constellation is screaming, getting blasted by the attack, and it's a total mess of debris and energy. Dokja's sword is glowing, energy surging through it. He's ready to finish this fight, no doubt. He swings a massive arc of energy heading straight for the beast, and it's a direct hit. Beast reels back, roaring in pain, but it's not down yet. It's seriously messed up, though. Constellation tries to escape, but Dokja's already on him, sword raised for another attack. Dokja slashes and Constellation goes flying, leaving a trail of blood, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Hyunsung is still down, injured, and Dokja's trying to protect him from the fallout of this battle. The beast recovers, launching a furious attack, but Dokja's blocking everything with insane skill. But the beast is relentless, claws slashing, and it manages to wound Dokja. Ouch, that looks painful. Dokja ignores the pain, powering through, and delivers a final, devastating blow to the beast. The beast finally falls, defeated, and Dokja stands over it, exhausted but victorious. Our boy did it. Dokja's sword is still glowing, and he's unleashing another massive blast of energy. It's intense. The energy rips through everything, shattering the ground and sending rocks flying everywhere. No way. But Constellation isn't finished. He's powering up some kind of crazy, dark energy of his own. He unleashes a terrifying roar, and his eyes are glowing. This dude is straight up monstrous right now. Constellation lunges, claws extended, and it looks like he's going for Dokja's throat. Talk about aggressive. Dokja barely manages to block, and the force of the attack sends him staggering back. Ouch, that had to hurt. However, Dokja recovers quickly, countering with a powerful strike of his own. He's not going down without a fight. The clash of their attacks creates another explosion, and the battlefield is a total wreck, honestly. Dokja keeps pushing forward, relentless, and it's clear he's determined to finish this battle. Our boy is a beast. Okay, so Robin Hood is channeling some serious power, focusing energy in his hands. It's glowing like crazy. He's amplifying his accuracy with great bow, and the energy is building, crackling all around him. No way. Everyone's stunned. They have no clue where this dude got such a powerful ability, honestly. Someone else is flexing too. This guy's unleashing a huge blast of red energy, super intense. He's sending waves of power straight at Robin Hood, and it looks like a direct hit is coming, bro. However, Robin Hood isn't backing down. He's drawing back his bow, and it's glowing with golden light. He fires, and the arrow is like a beam of pure energy, cutting through the red attack like it's nothing. The arrow rips through everything, creating a massive explosion and a shockwave that's tearing up the ground. Straight up devastation. The area is getting wrecked, and everyone is scrambling to avoid the blast. And the final result, a huge crater with Robin Hood standing in the middle, looking totally unfazed. Okay, so Robin Hood thought you was just a melee fighter, a total miscalculation, honestly. You's channeling some dark energy, and it's radiating off him like a nightmare, bro, super creepy. He's unleashing a wave of shadowy blades, and they're heading straight for Robin Hood. No way. Robin Hood is dodging like a pro, but there are just so many attacks coming at him. Yu's getting a stat boost just for his positioning. This dude is playing the game within the game. But wait, Yu's not just relying on blades. He's got a glowing sphere of energy forming in his hand. He slams his fist forward, unleashing a massive blast that completely overwhelms Robin Hood's defenses. Robin Hood's getting blasted with dark energy, and it's actually breaking his barriers. Ouch. The attack sends Robin Hood flying, shattering more of those energy blades. Straight up chaos. Yu stands there looking intense while Robin Hood's getting demolished. This fight is wild. Robin Hood is getting absolutely ripped apart by arrows, but he's just laughing it off. Seriously, this dude is insane. He's leaping through the air, dodging more attacks, and straight up mocking Yu for his meager arrows. But Yu isn't worried. He's got a plan, and he's channeling power into his bow, building up for a massive shot. Robin Hood yells he'll kill Yu and unleashes a red blast, but our boy is ready. He's dodging with incredible speed. Yu fires an arrow, but Robin Hood swats it away like it's nothing. This guy's defense is ridiculous. However, that arrow wasn't the main attack. Yu's already launching himself forward with insane force. Yu's arm cracks under the strain and his bow creaks, but he's pushing through the pain, determined to land a hit. He's flying through the air, drawing back another arrow, and honestly, the power building up is terrifying. Robin Hood confidently proclaims those pathetic arrows can't take him down, but he's about to eat those words. Yu releases the arrow and it's glowing. This isn't just an arrow, it's a full-on energy blast aimed right at Robin Hood. Robin Hood's reeling from the energy arrow, and honestly, he looks genuinely shocked. No way. Yu's already moving, closing the distance, and unleashing a flurry of attacks with that bow of his. He's hitting Robin Hood with everything he's got. Whack, shink, thwack. It's a brutal combo. Robin Hood tries to block, but Yu's attacks are too fast, too powerful. He's taking serious damage. Robin Hood fires off a volley of golden arrows, but Yu's deflecting them all with insane precision. Robin Hood's getting desperate, unleashing more energy blasts, but Yu's dodging like a pro, bro. He's leaping, spinning, and firing arrows all while taking damage. Our boy is a whirlwind of pain. Robin Hood manages to land a hit, sending Yu crashing down, but it only seems to enrage him further. Yu's powering up again, red energy surging around him. This dude is about to go supernova. He unleashes a massive wave of energy, and Robin Hood is completely overwhelmed. It's a straight-up explosion. Robin Hood reveals Yu's special ability only activates after landing 20 hits. Talk about a catch. Robin Hood scoffs, calling Yu's attacks toothpicks, but he's about to regret those words seriously. The forest is getting wrecked, trees splintering. Yu's power is straight up insane. Yu follows up with another attack, a golden energy beam slicing through the wreckage, but Robin Hood deflects it. Robin Hood's getting slammed with more hits, and honestly, this dude looks rattled. He tries to counterattack, but Yu's already weaving through the strikes. Our boy is too quick. Yu's relentless, unleashing a furious flurry of attacks. Hunk hunk, it's a brutal assault. Robin Hood is taking a beating, but he's still standing. This guy's durability is no joke. Robin Hood looks shocked, questioning what's happening, but Yu's just getting started, bro. No way, he straight up pokes out Robin Hood's eyes. That's brutal even for this story. Robin Hood is reeling, covered in blood, but Yu doesn't give him a second to breathe. Yu's name is echoing across the battlefield. Everyone's realizing this dude is a monster. He's taken down 3 opponents already, and the Unyokyu Dokja Kim Industrial Complex gains points. Yu unleashes another massive blast, and the forest just collapses around them. It's pure destruction. A powerful sword clashes against Yu's attack, but it's clearly struggling to hold. This is bad. Yu speeds forward, a blur of motion. He's moving way too fast for anyone to react. He slams into another opponent, sending them flying. Our boy is just demolishing everyone in his path. This dude Younghyuk is straight up getting demolished by a mysterious shadowy figure. It's intense. He's dodging attacks like a pro, but the power of these blows is insane, and he's taking a beating. The force of the fight is so strong it's causing a massive explosion, sending debris flying everywhere. No way. The impact creates a huge crater, and honestly, this dude had it coming facing someone this powerful. Meanwhile, 2 guys are chatting and they're worried about Younghyuk. He's currently in a life-or-death battle. One of them realizes Younghyuk is fighting right now, and they both look shocked. It's a critical moment. But hold up, someone just sent Younghyuk a message on his phone, a freshman girl of all people. The message pops up, but it feels so out of place while he's fighting for his life. Seriously, the timing. Back to the fight, the shadowy figure is relentlessly attacking, and Younghyuk is barely holding on. Sparks are flying as their weapons clash, and the sound of metal on metal is deafening. It's a brutal showdown. Younghyuk is getting bombarded with messages. It's a distraction at the worst possible time. He's frantically typing on some kind of digital interface, trying to respond, but it's barely registering. 2 other guys are watching, and one of them is straight up disgusted by Younghyuk's tactic. Harsh. They're comparing his situation to previous evolutions, like when Huiwen became the judge of evil. Things are escalating. It's like history is repeating itself, mirroring when Hyunseong mastered the Great Mountain Crush. Massive power-ups incoming. But wait, Younghyuk's moment has arrived. A golden light envelops him, and it looks like he's changing. The shadowy figure is getting notifications too, and they're clearly annoyed. This is a digital war now. Suddenly, a boot comes crashing down, and it's intense. Something big is about to happen. One of the observers notes that Younghyuk has more traits than they can count, and the regressor is the best one. However, the shadowy figure isn't impressed. They think Younghyuk is pathetic, and honestly, they might be right. This dude, the shadowy figure, is openly admitting he's most jealous of the ruler of games. Talk about a power move. Oh, he says it's easy, like he's got everything figured out. Confidence is high, but is it justified? Suddenly, the shadowy figure starts furiously typing, clicking and tapping away on a keyboard. It's a digital assault. He's mashing the keys, going full speed, and it's clear he's trying to take control of something, anything. We get a close-up of his eyes, and bro, they're intense, focused and determined, like he's about to unleash something huge. The screen goes black and the tapping continues. The tension is building. This is insane. Close up on the keyboard, and those fingertips are glowing, ready to execute whatever plan this guy has. The tapping gets faster, more frantic, and the keyboard seems to pulse with energy. It's a digital frenzy. But no way, the screen is still black and we're left hanging, wondering what this dude is even doing. Okay, so Yoongyak's professional gamer trait is evolving. Things are getting real intense, real fast. There's this huge impact like something just shifted, and the whole scene is bathed in golden energy. Cracking sounds echo as energy surges around him. It's like his power is overloading, but in a good way. He's literally stepping into the code, and we get a glimpse of what he's seeing: data, patterns, and a wild attack power stat. His hair is going crazy and his face contorts. This isn't just a power-up, it's a full-on transformation. The system is loading like it's trying to process everything happening to Yoongyak. It's almost complete. He looks completely different now, like he's seeing the entire game's code laid bare before his eyes. And now he's perceiving Manyu's attacks not as physical blows, but as raw data and predictable patterns. Right now, he's probably dissecting every single move Manhwa makes, turning the fight into a strategy game. This dude is straight up becoming the ultimate gamer, and honestly, this is terrifying for everyone else. Okay, so Manhwa launches this massive spear attack, but our boy is dodging like it's nothing. He's reading the attack. He's moving through the attack, almost glitching, and for a split second, he's right next to Manhwa. Manhwa swings his staff and it looks like a direct hit, but Yoongyak just phases right through it. No way. He's anticipating every move, calculating angles, and exploiting weaknesses. It's like watching a speedrun. But Manhwa isn't messing around. He's unleashing a flurry of attacks, and Yoongyak is barely holding his own. However, Yoongyak activates some kind of barrier, a glowing circle, just in time to block a devastating blow. He's countering now, using Manhwa's momentum against him, and it's a brutal exchange of power. This dude is straight up dismantling Manhwa's attacks, turning them into predictable patterns. It's insane. The fight is getting faster and more chaotic, but Yoongyak is maintaining control, staying one step ahead. And just when you think things are settling, Manhwa unleashes another massive attack. This is gonna be huge. Yoongyak just destroys Manhwa and the system is going wild. He's earned a living legend achievement. But it doesn't stop there. His myth has entered the battlefield rankings and things are escalating fast. The first game ends and the system announces the winning team will be decided by points earned. And boom, Yoongyak and Dokja Kim's industrial complex are officially the winners of round 1. Blonde dude is hyped, handing Yoongyak a glowing blue shard. It's gotta be some kind of reward. The scene shifts to a stunning view of the night sky, a beautiful pink nebula swirling with stars. However, this gorgeous scene is interrupted by falling debris. Something's clearly not right. The trees sway ominously as more and more pieces fall from the sky, hinting at a bigger threat. It's a massive, chaotic mess of debris, and the nebula is starting to look less beautiful and more ominous. This isn't just random stuff falling, it's a sign that something huge is about to go down, bro. Okay, so things are intense. Some shadowy figure is moving through the forest, and honestly, it's giving me chills. No way, it's Rajak, but he's turned into a massive, terrifying bird-like monster. This dude is straight up soaring through the sky. Rajak's beak is huge, and he's got this intense, piercing gaze. You can tell he means business, and it's not good. He's flapping those massive wings, creating a whirlwind of leaves and debris. The force is insane, bro. Our boy Kim Dokja is standing right in the path of this storm, looking up with a determined expression. He's not backing down. Dokja draws his sword and a blade of energy shoots out, slicing through the wind. He's ready to fight, even against this monster. The energy blade is glowing and it's cutting through everything in its path. It's a beautiful but dangerous sight. Rajak swoops down and a blinding red light erupts from his form. He's unleashing some serious power right now. Dokja's bracing himself against the force, but it's still pushing him back. However, he's holding his ground, barely. The air crackles with energy and the whole scene is bathed in a crimson glow. This fight is about to get really epic. Dokja unleashes a massive burst of energy, and it's colliding with Rajak's attack in a spectacular explosion. Rajak is firing beams of red energy everywhere, and Dokja is dodging, weaving through the chaos. It's insane. Dokja's sword is moving like a whirlwind, deflecting the beams, but they're still cracking the ground around him. We get a close-up of Dokja's face, and this dude is serious, focused, determined, and totally in the zone. He's swinging his sword with incredible speed, creating a shield of energy around himself, deflecting Rajak's attacks. Rajak's energy blasts hit a massive sphere, shattering it into a million pieces. The force is unbelievable. Dokja's sword clashes against Rajak's claw, creating a deafening sound and sending sparks flying everywhere. He's spinning, a blur of motion, and Rajak is reeling back, surprised by the sheer power of Dokja's counterattack. Rajak's still attacking, but Dokja's somehow holding on. It's like he's anticipating every move, blocking everything. But then a nearby monster asks why Rajak isn't falling, and honestly, we're all thinking the same thing. Rajak is going for Dokja's stamina, trying to wear him down, but Dokja's not having it. He's refusing to fall. Dokja's feet are digging into the ground, claws extending as he prepares to launch himself forward. He shouts "Sky-breaking master" and leaps, launching himself straight at Rajak with everything he's got. Dokja's flying through the air, a dark blur against the fiery backdrop. This is a full-on assault. Rajak transforms midair, sprouting massive wings and preparing to meet Dokja head-on. No way. The two collide, a chaotic flurry of claws and sword, with onlookers screaming and scattering. Rajak's beak opens in a monstrous roar as Dokja attacks, but Rajak's claws are aimed right back at him. Dokja's getting slammed around, but he's managing to land blows. It's a brutal, desperate fight. Rajak's wings are taking a beating, feathers flying everywhere, but he's still incredibly powerful. The ground cracks and buckles under the force of their battle. This is straight-up apocalyptic. Haeyoung's desperate. He's begging Dokja for just 10 seconds to do something, and Dokja gives the okay. Haeyoung starts a crazy slide, activating some kind of skill. It looks painful, bro. The narration drops a bomb. Anything powerful enough is classified as an ultimate skill. No pressure. Haeyoung's channeling energy, golden light swirling around him. He's going all out, gathering power. He's using points earned in the game to unlock a specific skill, and honestly, the energy is insane. The system announces Haeyoung is preparing an ultimate. This dude is about to level up big time. A massive swirl of energy explodes from Haeyoung, engulfing him completely. It's a beautiful, terrifying sight. And then bam, the system shouts that Haeyoung activates Sky-breaking Fist LV-10. What a name. Haeyoung's fist is glowing, radiating pure power. He's ready to unleash everything he's got. This is it. Haeyoung throws the punch, a golden explosion aimed right at Rajak, but we don't see the impact yet. Rajak actually blocks the sky-breaking fist. No way, this dude's defense is insane. The impact creates a massive shockwave, sending debris flying everywhere, but Rajak doesn't even flinch. Haeyoung's skill is pushing Rajak back, but it's not enough to break through. It's a stalemate. Rajak unleashes his own power, golden energy erupting around him, and now he's countering. The two energies collide, creating a swirling vortex of light and power. It's like a miniature sun. Rajak's attack overwhelms Haeyoung's, and the force sends Haeyoung spiraling backwards, heavily wounded. But Dokja isn't letting that stand. He's leaping forward, sword drawn, ready to intercept. Dokja slashes at Rajak, aiming for a weak point, but Rajak casually swats the attack aside. Ouch. Rajak retaliates with a swift kick, sending Dokja flying. Our boy is getting tossed around like a rag doll. Dokja crashes into something, but he's already back on his feet. This dude is relentless, I swear. Rajak is straight up demolishing Dokja, sending him flying with another kick. This is brutal. Haeyoung yells at Dokja to stick to the plan, and honestly, he needs to listen. Dokja charges forward again, sword raised. Despite being clearly outmatched, our boy is fearless. Rajak swats Dokja's attack away like it's nothing, and then follows up with another devastating blow. Dokja crashes into a tree, but he's already scrambling back up. This dude's endurance is insane. Rajak is looming over Haeyoung, radiating power, and things look really grim for our healer. But wait, Rajak isn't going for Haeyoung. He's focused on Dokja instead. A surprising move. Rajak sends a wave of energy at Dokja, and it's massive. This is going to hurt a lot. Dokja grits his teeth, bracing for impact, looking determined even as everything goes white. No way he'll give up. Okay, so things are intense. A massive attack is coming straight for our boy, and it's moving fast. He's dodging a ridiculous barrage of green blades while a huge red wave is bearing down on him. No way. This dude is seriously skilled, weaving between attacks with his swords, but it's a lot to handle at once. The impact is huge. A massive explosion rocks the entire area, and honestly, it looks devastating. Everything is rubble and dust, but our boy is still standing barely. He's clearly taking damage. But wait, a mysterious figure in a hooded cloak emerges from the smoke, looking straight up menacing. This guy's face is terrifying, like a villain straight out of the novel, and he's definitely the source of all this. Our boy isn't wasting time, he's powering up, electric energy crackling all around his sword. He's preparing for another clash, bracing himself against the hooded figure's attack. It's gonna be epic. The swords meet, sparks fly, and the tension is unreal. This fight is far from over, and it's getting crazy. Okay, so our boy just unlocked a new skill using points, and it's clearly a big deal, massive energy erupting everywhere. Constellation, this ancient being with white hair, is straight up losing it, appalled by whatever just happened. Another constellation, the Scorpion Goddess, is equally shocked, widening her eyes at the power unleashed. Our boy clutches something in his hand, looking determined, but he's clearly hurting after that last attack. Stepping forward, facing the constellations, and declares, this fight is him. The Demon King of Salvation is affected by some sort of position effect, and his Beast King sensitivity is going wild. But wait, Constellation, the one who gouged out his own eyes, is actually appalled by our boy's move. He says sorry, but while standing against the backdrop of the constellations, setting up a serious showdown. Our boy takes a step forward, radiating power, and honestly, this is the energy of someone who means business. He states with a powerful look that he is the one who will take action, no backing down from this dude. Our boy's Way of the Wind skill just leveled up, and he's unleashing a whirlwind of blades. It's beautiful and deadly. He's moving fast, slicing through the air, dodging attacks, but the hooded figure is still relentless. He's using bookmarks simultaneously, a risky move, but it boosts his power. It's a double-edged sword, though. Duration of those bookmarks is getting cut in half, but honestly, the speed boost is worth it right now. He's launching forward, aiming for the Scorpion constellation, a direct attack, no hesitation. No way, the Scorpion constellation is actually surprised by this direct assault. It's a rare sight. The hooded figure tries to intercept, but our boy's wind blades are deflecting everything, a perfect defense. He's weaving through the attacks, a blur of motion, and now he's closing in on the constellations. But wait, the hooded figure is launching a counterattack, a massive blast of energy. This is intense. He barely dodges, the attack missing him by inches, and straight up obliterates the surrounding trees. He shouts bookmark number 5 and straight up activates another skill, electrification, leveling it up to 12. A massive surge of electric energy erupts around him, a blinding blue explosion. It's intense. He's engulfed in the power, channeling it through his body and weapon, bracing for a huge attack. The hooded figure unleashes another blast, but our boy is ready. He's absorbing the energy. He's becoming a conduit for electricity, redirecting the attack, and honestly, it's a beautiful sight. Redirected energy explodes outward with a whoosh, obliterating everything in its path. He's standing firm, radiating power, completely unharmed, while the landscape is wrecked around him. But the hooded figure isn't backing down. He launches another attack, even more powerful this time. He's deflecting it again using his electrified blade, and this dude is just a whirlwind of energy. Another whoosh as he unleashes the redirected energy, creating a massive shockwave. This is getting crazy. The hooded figure is getting wrecked, but he coughs and tries to stand. This dude is tough. He's bleeding, clearly hurt, but he's staring straight at our boy, and honestly, it's intimidating. Our boy lands a final blow, a burst of electric energy. It's a direct hit and sends the hooded figure flying. He crashes through trees and lands hard, but immediately starts getting up again. Unbelievable stamina. Hooded figure is standing now, but he's clearly struggling, clutching his side. This is it. He straight up admits he didn't expect our boy to get this strong. What a burn. But then another figure descends from above, a shadowy silhouette. Who is this? This new guy steps forward, revealing a regal outfit and a crown. He's the real boss here. He's looking down on our boy with contempt, while the hooded figure kneels before him. No way. The new arrival declares our boy is surprisingly strong, but it won't matter, things just got serious. Our boy is smirking a totally terrifying grin and asks if they're enjoying the show, cold-blooded. He unleashes another massive blast of energy, sending the hooded figure flying again, and this time it's brutal. The regal guy is shocked by our boy's power. He's analyzing something about his status, and it's clearly off the charts. He dismisses our boy with a condescending, "You're quite an interesting one, yeah, interesting enough to kick your butt." But then he drops a bomb. He heard Mitra, the goddess, meant to grant our boy the blessing of resurrection. What? It's a huge reveal and straight up explains why our boy keeps surviving impossible situations. No way. So this dude is basically a plot armor machine and the regal guy is realizing it. Talk about a game changer.